You're listening to 95.9 FM, KMPN Burnett, keeping him close by to Burnett, Marble Falls, and all the surrounding area. Now, from the ministries of the KHCB Network and Camp Peniel of Marble Falls, welcome to a special presentation. This 95.9 FM features the varsity football game of the week with the Burnett Bulldogs. Joined in as play-by-play announcer Mark Edmondson brings all the action and highlights of another weekend of Burnett Bulldog High School football. He is joined by Roy Kaiser in order to give all the details of tonight's contest. For those of you who want to hear the regular programming of the KHCB network, go to khcb.org and listen via the internet or download the free KHCB app to your smartphone or tablet. Now it's time to bring you all the action of tonight's contest on 95.9 FM. So here's Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser.
And it is Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser with you live from Fredericksburg, Texas. Burnett Bulldog football is on the air. Game number 4 of the season, the Bulldogs and the Fredericksburg Battling Billies here in the Hill Country. I have to admit, it's always one of those things, whether you're playing in Burnett or Fredericksburg, but this is just, to me, one of those things in the Hill Country when you see these two teams play. And I've got, you and I have had the fortune to call some together, but over the last 20 years, 19 years, got to call quite a few of them, sometimes in district play, outside district play, and it's just always a little extra excitement. And as much as I look forward the next 2 weeks at home, Coach Kaiser, it is kind of fun to come to Fredericksburg, too, into the Hill Country, and, just great traditions, again, between these two schools. And I do it when they're out practicing right now and got the red and the white on, and you see the green and white of the Bulldog. It just makes for a little special extra excitement. The Bulldogs come in at 1-2. And that was definitely exciting last week. A great victory against the Little River Academy Bumblebees, 49-35. Congratulations to Coach Spear. Coach Spear's first varsity win as a head coach. So I'm looking to many more of those along the way, but you got to get that first one. And it was a great win for the Bulldogs and Coach Spear as well. They play the Fredericksburg Battling Billies tonight, 0-3. They're coming off of a loss to Kerrville-Tybee, 51-0, but they played a really tough schedule. Coach Kaiser, I know you share some of that feeling about just the great rivalry, but this is, to me, and I've said it over the years and will continue, what makes Friday Night Lights and the game so special. It's more than just a game. It's about the town's traditions, all those things that go together, and tonight's a great one.
It really is, and hoping to get Coach Spear's second win and another one in a row. But we've seen some pretty fun games between the Billies and the Bulldogs, and we've seen trick plays from stepping on the sideline and touchdowns, and that was a few years ago. That was Coach Rye's win to get into the playoffs here at Fredericksburg. So we've enjoyed some really good games against the Billies. They've got a huge scoreboard with the Jumbotron, and they'll have some instant replays, and hopefully the instant replays will be all Burnett tonight and not any Fredericksburg Billy touchdowns.
They have struggled a little bit, but this is a game that they really say we're at home. We need that first victory, so they're going to come out with a lot of energy, as well. And Bulldogs, that's what they did so well last week, was come out with a great deal of energy and really put it to Little River. Little River made a bit of a comeback, and they had some athletes, and they showed that late in the game, the Bulldogs, but they really took control of the game early, just on both sides of the ball, and they need to do that again here tonight.
That same feeling that Burnett had last week, being 0-2, is amplified for Fredericksburg tonight, being 0-3. They feel like they've really got to have this win, and their offense
about to start district play.
Right, with 7 teams in their district. So yeah, you're right. This may be their last pre-district game, but their offense is struggling, to say the least. They've scored 30 points in the 3 games that they've played, and been outscored handily in all of those to lose. So, but again, quality opponents in Lampasas, Wimberley, and Kerrville-Tybee. So, they are not afraid of anybody. They're not hiding from anybody. So they feel like tonight, with a 1-2 Bulldog team, that this is their chance to get their first win.
Driving here, you were talking about the memories, and you do certain things pull out, and I don't know why, but the ones that you were talking about, the step from the sideline, the trick play, I remembered the 7 touchdown game. It was here, and it was Matthew Tippy as a sophomore. 7 touchdown passes, 5 of them, if I'm not mistaken, were to Blaine Burkhalter. Now, the interesting part, I like to share this, you see. Now, both of them are at the college level. Tippy, who moved on to Wimberley, but he's pitching for Texas State, which I still call Southwest Texas, and Blaine Burkhalter, and I can't say the name exactly, so I'd say it wrong, but in the Northeast, he's in. I just saw some clips of him catching passes still, but that was an incredible night. But those were all of a sudden driving here, for whatever reason, that just clicked in my head of all the touchdown, and it was a huge game. Fredericksburg was answering, so again, hopefully we won't have to have as many answers, but we'll have some of those touchdown passes. All right, we have a little longer coaches show, so we're gonna take a break here pretty quick, and then we'll come back, get you the starting lineups. It is an early kickoff, 7 o'clock scheduled kickoff tonight. It'll be our last early scheduled kickoff of the season, but that's why we are on here early, 7 o'clock. So if you're on and you know somebody doesn't know it's going to start at 7, share the word, let them know. You can hear us on btxsportsonline.com. Again, it'll take you to the YouTube channel where the feed is, and on KMPN 95.9 FM. Again, it's the Burnett Bulldogs 1-2, the Fredericksburg Battling Billies 0-3 on btxsportsonline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
Do you know what famous person was the first to say, "No pain, no gain"? He was from Philadelphia, but he didn't play for the Phillies or the 76ers. His team was the Founding Fathers, and his name was Benjamin Franklin. He actually said, "There are no gains without pains." But he may have been quoting an ancient Latin proverb that said, "What is worthwhile needs to be difficult." You know, the New Testament says something similar about Jesus Christ. It says, "He learned obedience through the things he suffered." If Jesus had to swap pain for gain, we should be willing to as well. This is David Jeremiah, encouraging you to get on the road to new life. Discover God's way to benefit from pain on Route 66.
Route 66, driving the word home. Log on to Route66Life.com. Start your journey home today.
It's week number 4 in the Coach Ben Spears Show, head coach of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are 1-2 after a strong performance and a 49-35 win over the Little River Academy Bumblebees. Please share your thoughts on the game.
Well, Mark, it was good to finally get that first victory. As I shared with the kids before the game, and we were talking about in the locker room, our conversation was, what do you want tonight? And what does that look like? And what are you willing to give? Are you willing to give up some playing time for somebody else, for the cause of a greater cause to win? Are you willing to give extra effort? Are you willing to just have a role on the sideline and be supportive and cheer on your teammates? What were you willing to give? And we're just that conversation was about bonding and make sure we were all knew we had a job, even us as coaches. So, just to get that, and I couldn't be more tickled to death for those kids. Those kids, since I've taken over the program, they've been on board, they've been supportive, they've been behind us, and whatever we wanted to do, they've been putting forth the effort and just committed, and it was good. I was so thrilled for them that they were rewarded for their efforts. Against a very talented academy team that feel like that game could have gone any way, but we came out hitting on all cylinders, and everything we did was right. Even the old onside kick that wasn't supposed to be an onside kick ended up being an onside kick. We got it. So sometimes it just like I told the coaches, sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug. For 2 quarters, we were definitely that windshield, and we're rolling. So it means a lot more anything for the program, because it just reaffirms coaches, kids that, hey, what we're doing is good, it's right, and we're going to keep doing it, and it's a process to get there. And so it's nice to see that process rewarded for those kids, and they can see that.
The Bulldogs had a balanced attack last week. It got contribution from many players. How important is that for this year's Bulldog team?
It's huge because we're still trying to replace those dudes that we lost last year, and they were skilled positions, and they got, they were 90% of the touches graduated. And I don't want to keep bringing them up, but it's huge of who we are is we've got to find those guys, and we're still finding them, and it's fun. It's fun to see someone who finally you think they can do it, but they don't believe enough in themselves, or they haven't had a chance to prove it, and all of a sudden they show up, and you're like, yeah, we knew you could do it, and you just get so excited for those guys, and they just realize, like, wow, I can do this, and if coaches believe me and I can do it, and then why can't I do this every week? And just to see the confidence grows. And plus, when you get guys with, that many touches, I think over 10 guys caught balls, if you have that going on, it makes it really difficult that you just can't scheme for one individual. Now, and everybody's going to know where 11 is at come this week and here on out, because, when Marcus has 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns, and he's taking snaps in the backfield, they're going to know when he's on the field. So it's important for those other guys to really start showing up on the stats as well as catches, and they're chipping in little catches and things and carries here and there and making great efforts. But the balance attack is so crucial. We want to be a team that's physical. We want to run the ball. And when they creep up and they got their eyes wrong on the back end, we're going to hit them over the top. And you saw some of those big catches, the touchdown to Riley. That's because we're running the ball. And you get a big touchdown because those safeties start cheat up, and then all of a sudden they're not disciplined with their eyes because they think they've got to come up and help with the run, and then we hit them over the top. And that's who we want to be. We want to control the line of scrimmage. We want to control the time of possession, and then when time being, we're going to strike, and then we're going to allow Rhett to get the ball down the field.
The Bulldogs faced the Fredericksburg Battling Billies this week. Now, what can you tell us about the Billies?
I'm going to get a little background on the Battling Billies. A long time ago, they were actually called the Hillbillies. But, in your day of PR and all that wasn't acceptable anymore, so they had to change their name. And I know this because I coached with a guy that actually graduated there, and he was a hillbilly, which I think is very unique in itself.
I agree.
Okay, and so is the Battling Billies. Battling Billies, so I've known them for a while, from my days at Bernie being the DC there, and it's a huge rivalry game in the Hill Country, but I love the town, going over there and the chance and the opportunity to play in that little community. It's another good road trip for us, and I like it because it's about the same time we're on the road as it was going to Temple over there at Academy. So it's going to be an earlier start. So it's a little bit of adjustment for us, but that's okay. And our kids are confident because, and everybody wants to get down again on the week 3 road game, 3 games in a row, and I'm like, yeah, but we're good. We know our schedule. They know our schedule now, and they don't know anything different. So the awkwardness is going to become playing at home next week. They're going to be like, what is this? But they're yes, they're 0-3, but I told the kids, don't let the record be deceiving. They played 3 really good teams, really tough teams, in Lampasas, and then Wimberley. Everybody knows who Wimberley is. And then a really good Tivy, a 5A school. So those are really good teams that they played. They're searching a little bit for themselves and their identity. They've got this week scheduled on. They believe it's a winnable game for them. Quarterback hurt his ankle last week in practice before Tivy, and they tried another receiver kid at the quarterback, and then brought him in later in the game, and he's okay. You can tell he's not moving around great, but he can get the ball out. They've got a great little slot receiver. His number 5. He's a sophomore. His name's Beard. And if you've been around football in the Hill Country for a while, you know the name. I believe he's the last one. I hope he's the last one, but they've always got one, and some went to IMG, and older brothers were there, and when I was at Bernie as well, and they're just great athletes. Little guy, very quick, laterally quick. We don't want to kick him the ball, that's for sure. He returns kicks, and he's tough, and he's going to get yards. So we got to limit him. They're okay up front. They're decent enough that if we don't play our game, we can get beat. And that's the message to our kids. Yay, we got one win. That's great. We want to build on that. We want to learn from it. But we cannot look past Fred because if we don't do assignment football, we can get beat Friday.
The Bulldogs came out last week with a great deal of energy, but the team does depend on many players to play both offense and defense. How difficult is that to manage for coaches and the team?
It's very difficult, especially when you're limited in numbers. And as you know, Mark, we're not at a 4A Division I numbers yet. And our boys do. We are in the two-platoon system, meaning we play both offense and defense. And we got to, because our dudes are our dudes, and they got to be on the field. And when a number 2 is just as good as a tired one, well, we'll get him on the field. And part of these post or pre-district games is finding out how good your number 2s are, and can we get those spell of rest for those number 1s here and there, and where is it comes. First you try to get them all special teams as much as possible, but those are very critical spots, because you think it's just one snap, one play, but one play can be the difference in a game, or giving up a touchdown or scoring a touchdown. So we don't take those lightly, but we try to spell them there. And next, it's the communication. You got to communicate across with the other side, and that happens during the week. That doesn't just happen on Friday night. We got to know reps, who we need to limit reps on which side of the ball. We're juggling guys around, and he can slide over here and play the guard position, or we got to bring this kid up because he can play guard and give us relief, but also give us some depth on D-line. Or this one could play guard, but he can't play D-line. So maybe we need to move this other kid. Or we've got them stacked here at the outside. Can one of those guys come down and play the D end? And that's we're a little bit on the edge of being in not emergency state here, but it's a real concern that some of our depth we have on the O-line, D-line is where what we thought our strength was is right now we're okay. We just can't lose anymore. We'll be better next week. We'll get one back next week, and then hopefully in a couple weeks we'll get some more back. But it is a concern for us that we need to be aware of, and then and you have to communicate with the coach on the other side of the ball, because we can't work these kids to death. We can't play them to death, and so those things are important during the week, and plus on game nights we just can't. If somebody's going out, and it's the same thing with an injury, you have to communicate across the board, or, all of a sudden you look up, you got 10 on the field, and what happened? But it's important for those other guys to earn that spot too, and we're trying to find the best. We don't just want those guys to be 11 guys play both ways. You want as much as possible, and it's better for the whole team. The more we get involved, the more reps we get, the more catches we get. Different guys touching the ball as well.
Well, thank you, and as always, good luck. Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. Just great insight from Coach Spear. Appreciate that. And I don't know, but I got a feeling probably his parents are listening somewhere down the line. I hope they are, and a shout out to them. And again, congratulations to Coach Spear on his first varsity victory as a head coach last week, and I look to add to that. And we're going to go right into the starters. Neither team on the field yet, but we have a 7 o'clock scheduled kickoff, so not too much further away from that. First, the starters for the Bulldogs, and I don't have the stats right in front of me. We'll talk about it as the night goes on. But some huge numbers, and as we talked about with Coach Spear, just so many different players getting involved, and you'd brought that up last week. It just a big part of what this team wants to do, and it certainly was that way last week. At quarterback, Rhett Murray will be the starter, and Josiah Coronado, starting running back, went over 100 yards last week. The wide receivers, Matthew Williams, Colt Stanford, contributed, both of them, and then Marcus Pimentel had the big game, and then he came in, I believe it was, if I get him backwards, 5 touchdowns, but I think it was 3 receiving, 2 rushing, or vice versa. But either way, because he also came in those goal line situations and ran out of that direct snap, essentially out of the shotgun in the quarterback position. And then also Peyton Shirley at tight end, wide receiver. The offensive line, they did an excellent job last week. You heard him talk about a little bit of concern about depth there. And so that's always something that they have to monitor each week. But the starters tonight, Shane Ikonen, Brandon Westbrook, Jonathan Ryder, Evan Joyner, Johnny Sharon, and as I mentioned, Peyton Shirley, tight end on the line too there. But they did an excellent job really at the point of attack, opened holes in the running game, and gave time to throw the ball.
You know, anytime, Mark, you can go an entire game without punting, you know you've done some good things. And that happened last week. The offense was so dominant. And we talked a little bit about him last week, but Shane Ikonen at center has been money, right on the money every time. And that's just such an important spot. And kudos to him. Defensively for the Bulldogs, staying in the 4-3 alignment. Some similar names here. Noah Billick, number 44, and Riley Howell are your 2 starting ends. But Ellis Starkey, number 74, will get the start at nose guard. Because Alejandro Ochoa will move from that spot to the Mike linebacker. He's number 34. Chris Kastner will be the Will linebacker. And your 2 outside linebackers, Marcus Pimentel and Trevin Park. Your cornerbacks tonight for the Bulldogs, Matthew Williams, number 5, really good athlete, will go get the ball. And David Prather, number 8. And your 2 safeties, you've got a veteran, Colt Stanford, number 18, and Lou Laidler is back again for his second game, number 35.
And gotta first. I'm sorry, y'all don't know what I'm laughing at, but I'm about to tell you. So Philip Molina, as always, doing some filming, and he's down there near the run-through line with the cheerleaders. If you don't know Mr. Molina, he's about 6'7", 6'6", 6'7". So he's giving high five to the cheerleaders. Let's just say they're having to reach quite a ways to try to get there. So he's.
We do have one young lady that is probably 5'11", maybe the one on the 45.
Yeah,
so tall.
Yeah, I didn't see if he maybe might not have tried to. I have to ask him about that. He and his grandson Hayden, and they won their second game. Congratulations to his 8th grade team.
Good.
Yeah, and been having a lot of success. I heard last night, I think our freshman and JV fell, but they had won. Both had won several weeks in a row, so a good start to the season for those sub-varsity teams. But again, Mr. Molina filming as the Bulldogs come onto the field. Bulldogs in green pants, the white shirts with the green stripes on the shoulder pads, the white helmets with the Bulldog coming out of the state of Texas decal. The Fredericksburg Battling Billies about to come onto the field. Real quick, I'll go through the. Let me give you this first. The Bulldogs got here first game of the season. It was that 23-20 loss in the last seconds back on August the 29th at Laga Vista. Got beat by a very good team and just overmatched by Eastview 51-0. And then their first win of the season last week, 49-35, the win over Little River Academy. As Fredericksburg comes onto the field, they're in white pants, red shirts with white stripes on it, and red helmets with the the F there on the side of the helmets. And again, just both these teams, the red and green color standing out, just looks great on a Friday night for some football. Go ahead and I'll let you get how Fredericksburg got here.
Fredericksburg is Region 4, 4A Division 1, District 14. And we mentioned it earlier, but they have played 3 very tough football programs. Lampasas, they lose 40-21. Wimberley, at Wimberley, they lose 35-9 in their only home game this year. At Fredericksburg versus Kerrville Tivy, they lose 51-0.
All right, see if they get the captains come out. I'll let you get theirs if they do. I'm going to give you the starters for Fredericksburg on offense. Brooks M will be the starting quarterback. Aaron Cantu, the running back. They're going to depend on Griffin Beard. You heard Coach Spear talk about him at wide receiver. Also Aiden Musel, Jaron Quay, and Noah Tatum at wide receiver. The offensive line, John Rojas, Jet Thompson, Jackson Andrews, Wade Tucker, and Christopher Gloria.
Defensively in a 4-3 alignment, The two ends, 51 Rance Pinnock and 16 Tristan King. And the two down linemen, 52 Parker Foshu and 68 Victor Ortega. Your three linebackers, really the staple of this defense. The middle linebacker, number 34, Caden Kuntz, is their leading tackler, their leader on defense. And the outside linebackers, 10, Colts Wolf, 44, Creek Franson. The cornerbacks, number 7, Santi Villa, and 5, Griffin Beard. And then your safeties, number 4, Yair Hernandez, and 23, Aaron Cantu.
All right, so the captains, Bulldogs doing a little different. I have 4 going on the field, 2 more standing back at about the near the sideline. The captains for the Bulldogs are going to be Rhett Murray, also Marcus Pimentel, Colt Stanford, and Jonathan Ryder also on the field, but back behind are Matthew Williams and Chris Kasner, the Bulldogs captains tonight.
For the Battling Billies, number 2, Brooks Immel, the quarterback. And I'm going to say that 16, Tristan King. That number kind of blends in with 18, so it's one or the other. Number 34, Caden Kuntz. Mentioned him just now on defense. And number 72, Jackson Andrews.
All right, so have had the coin toss. Let's see. Looks like Fredericksburg has won the toss and elected to receive, so they want their offense out there first, which I don't think bothers the Bulldogs too much. Get that defense out on the field to start the game. So we're going to go ahead and take this last break, have the national anthem here. We come back, we'll get you ready for kickoff. It's game number 4, the Bulldogs and the Fredericksburg Battling Billies on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Here's today's daily devotional from Dr. Ed Young.
Isaiah 26:3. You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. If you fly long enough, you'll eventually experience turbulence. It's uncomfortable at best, terrifying at worst as the plane bounces up and down and shakes and every now and then drops. But the truth is, planes are made to handle turbulence. Vertical and horizontal stabilizers help steady the aircraft so it can maintain level flight. God has equipped our hearts as a stabilizer to keep us steady in the turbulence of everyday life. Our verse tells us that if our minds are stayed on God, fixed on God, He will give us a sense of safety and steadiness as we face the physical, emotional, and spiritual turbulence of life in this world. So make sure you take time throughout the day to focus your thoughts on God. Pray to Him, meditate on His words, and trust He will keep you calm in the turbulence of life.
For additional resources, go to winningwalk.org. That's winningwalk.org. And be sure to join Dr. Ed Young for the Winning Walk each weekday morning at 9 a.m. right here as we keep him close by.
Need some real hope? Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve.
Before God created the church, He created the family. Now, a family is designed to be a unified, close-knit team, with dad acting as head coach and mom acting as assistant coach. And when team family is led well, all the team members flourish in a safe and healthy environment. Debbie and I took our roles seriously. I led and she helped me. I loved her and she respected me, and together we raised our children in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Now, was it easy? No, but it was so worth it. And God blessed our marriage and our family as we sought to do things His way, and He'll do the same for you. Now that's real hope.
And you can find that real hope when you visit FromHisHeart.org.
Ever since the publication of H.G. Wells' The Time Machine in 1895, people have been captivated by the idea of traveling in time. In that book, a scientist built a time machine and traveled far into the future. Then he returned and told his astonished friends what the world was going to be like in 800,000 years. The truth is that we are all time travelers, traveling toward the future. And at the end of our journey, there's a destination that we can scarcely imagine. It's a destination called eternity. Our Creator designed us to live forever, but because of man's rebellion, death came into the world. Then God sent His Son, Jesus, to redeem eternity for anyone who would place his trust in Him. If you'd like to learn how you can begin a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, just call us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to our website, chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser had the national anthem. We are ready for some football. Here, as the teams are about to take the field, again, Fredericksburg will receive the opening kickoff. It's the District 4 4A Burnett Bulldogs at 1-2 against the 14 4A D1 Fredericksburg Battling Billies. And we are at the top of the hour. You're listening to Burnett Bulldog Football. Welcome in KMPN Burnett. All right, Coach Kaiser, the Bulldogs need to show that same intensity tonight. You know you want that good start. Again, even when Academy last week made a bit of a run, put some drives together, it was just too much to overcome because of that start. And you know you got to look for that again. It's hard to have those perfect starts all the time, but the energy and that you can bring.
For sure. And when Academy scored their first touchdown, we went right back down and answered, and I thought that was important too. And I think this works out for Burnett. Kind of a pedestrian offense that Fredericksburg is dealing with and struggling with. If you can get them off the field early, send a message, I think that's a big move for the Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs have had some trouble with some big plays throughout the season. We saw that late in that second quarter and then late in the game against Academy. And Beard is going to be the guy they're going to look to make sure they got to contain him.
That's true, but on the other side, Fredericksburg's done the same thing. They've given up, I think they gave up a 99-yard touchdown reception earlier in the year to Tybee, or I guess last week to Tybee.
And it is going to be Marco Campos Huerta to kick off, up from the JV to kick off tonight. So having a change in the kicker is first varsity kick, and we're ready to go. It's lined up at the 40 here from Fredericksburg.
There's no time on the play clock.
And they kick it off, and it's going to be kicked deep, and that's into the end zone and returned from the end zone to the 10, the 15, and maybe to the 20 by Beard. He is quick, but Work just kicked it into the end zone.
That was
5
nice.
yards deep.
And that may be why he's up here. I wondered if we had an injury or something, but I think that answers the question.
Burnett Bulldog Football on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTX SportsOnline.com. They'll start Fredericksburg at 20. Sorry, it caught me off guard because I just realized, looked up. Usually if you see it to the 8 or the 5, but that was 10 yards deep in the 5 yards in the end zone.
And I don't think we intended to kick it to anybody that could run it out, but Kastner with a great tackle.
And it's 1st and 10. Snap. They hand it off to Cantu. He's hit and almost gets away, but they held on. Got to make sure you get good tackles. We missed some late last week, but that was a good one. Kasner, I think, making that for no gain on Cantu, the running back.
2 plays, 2 tackles by Kastner. He's come to play early on.
They gave him maybe half a yard to be 2nd down. They don't have 10-yard markers on the other side. They're
over here.
They're on just this side.
That's the way it was last week, too.
Okay, I guess just on the far side. The quarterback, Brooks Emmel, Cantu to his left. He rolls. He's going to throw. He's throwing deep, trying to get it to Beard, and it's incomplete. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a little surprised there wasn't a call there, too. It looked like we had kind of a hold on Beard.
I thought it was the other way around.
So
I really thought Beard had a hold.
There was contact in there, so no flag either way.
Of the jersey of who is that over there on the far side? Maybe
that's why I didn't get the call. That was, but they were going deep to Beard. It's incomplete, and the coverage was right there. So but there was definitely some holding going on somewhere. They were jersey to jersey. 3rd and 10, though, at the 20-yard line. Immel with Cantu to his left, but they wanted to go deep. He rolls that way again. Now he looks out to Beard in the flat, and the coverage underneath almost intercepted, but it goes through his hands. That was Pimentel.
It was.
And it went through his hands. He doesn't miss many. He certainly didn't last week, but that one was high, but it will bring up a punting situation, 4th and 10.
Well, it was enough. He got enough hands on it to tip it and just out of the reach of the receiver.
Yeah, I think he'd want that one back. It went through those hands, but the coverage was good. They were trying to get it to Beard. Punting formation for Fredericksburg. Snap back and gets it away. High short kick, but it does take a Fredericksburg bounce. Bulldogs just need to get out of the way. Still get good field position. Defense does its job, forces a punt. They will start at the Burnett. See where they end up marking it, about the 45-yard line. Burnett 45 is where the Bulldogs will start their first offensive possession. Nice.
Couldn't have worked out better for the Bulldogs. You get them off the field in a 3-and-out, and then let's go see if we can score. Got a short field here.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs after a 3-and-out. The Rhett Murray at quarterback, Josiah Coronado at running back. Again, had that 100-yard game last week. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. They looking into the sun. Man goes in motion, low snap. Going to throw it out in the flat on the swing to Stanford, and he can't. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Stanford. He couldn't haul it in, and it's incomplete. Caught him in stride, but he couldn't catch it and was just off his stride just a little bit. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. He'd gone in motion across the play and tried to get it to him. There was some space. Worried me. It was a forward pass, but it was a little close to lateral, and it was bouncing around, but it wasn't.
It's a tough play.
It is.
It's a hard catch to make, and
on full stride, you're in a full out run to
running
make the
away.
cut.
Yeah.
2nd and 10. 2 backs in the backfield now with Murray. 2 receivers to the left, but 1 goes in motion. Pimentel, but they hand it off to Coronado up the middle, and he's going to pick up a good 5-6 yards if they give him 5. Coronado bring up a 3rd and 5 right at the 50. Ball at the 50-yard line.
Nice job by the left side of the Bulldog line. Number 50, Shane Iconin at center, and I'll get the rest of those here in a second. Or is he at center?
He's not. I think he's left tackle. Yes, I think Ryder's at center. 2 trip receivers to the left on 3rd down. Murray in the pocket, has to get rid of it and throws it high, and he saw some pressure coming late. Williams was standing at the yard marker. That pass was just too high. Williams was alone, and that should have been a 1st down, but it'll bring up a 4th and 5 here for the Bulldogs at the 50.
Well, that incompletion was due to the pressure that he was seeing up the middle and or around the end, and he just tried to get rid of that.
And I think they only rushed 3. 4th down and 5, Bulldogs in shotgun. Murray at quarterback, 2 receivers to the right. Now he drops back a little further. And then a flag.
Going to have illegal procedure on the center for moving the ball.
Which doesn't hurt us too much.
No.
Now, Murray was going to drop back and kick it, looked like there. Usually Pimentel does that. But adding that to it. Now they're switching after the 5 yards marked off back to the 45. And they will drop back into a formal punt formation, and it's Laidler because he didn't punt last week, but Laidler is.
We're missing
they're
somebody.
missing somebody. Yeah, we both see that as they're calling from the sideline to get somebody in.
Well, I like this with Laidler because he might be more of a dual threat punter than we have. And
yes, you're absolutely
he
right.
might turn this into a 1st down.
Yeah, he had punted though, but good line drive kick. Gonna bounce it to 20, and Beard gets away from it and takes a good bounce inside the 15 near the 10. Excellent punt. So did a good job punting to set Fredericksburg back right at the 10. So flipped the field there. Good solid punt and got that away from Beard.
It did, but I would like to have seen, we picked up 5 yards with Coronado up the middle, and I think we'll come back to that a little bit more, Mark, because we had some success.
Yeah, well, the plan was to get that 3rd down pass, get a good solid 1st down, and then go back to run. But we didn't complete, so Fredericksburg has the ball a second time. They hand it off. Cantu trying to get to the outside. Good help from the outside to lose a yard. Who came up and made that? It was the good pursuit, but was it two that came? Or was it O'Hare?
It was Noah Billick.
Okay. But O'Hare was the one who came from his safety position and really closed it down, and Cantu loses a yard.
Cantu might think twice about running the football if he gets hit that hard.
It's back at the 9 now. Second down to throw, and he's rolling out. The quarterback, Emmel, throws to Beard underneath. He does make the catch. We got
hat
on the field.
I don't see any flags, but
no.
I see hats.
Did he go out of bounds? It's at the 15-yard line. It was a gain of 6. Makes it third down. Beard had to catch it as he went to the ground. It is third down. Third down and 5. They made 6 yards. They had lost that one. Cantu to the right. Bulldogs trying to get Fredericksburg off the field again. Here in the first quarter, no score. Emmel pitches it to Cantu, and he's still running, but he's not going to get the first down as he only gets to about the 17. That looked awkward. Unfortunately, the Bulldogs able to find him before Cantu. I thought he was going to accidentally get to the 20, but he only gains 2. Awkward pitch as Emmel got hit. And going to be another punting situation.
Well, puts Fredericksburg in a really must-punt situation.
Yep, they're at their own 17. It's fourth down and about 3.
Can't afford any mistakes here.
The snap is back
that
high, and it goes into the end zone, and the punter is picking it up, and he tries to kick it, and he goes back.
That's
going to.
No. That should be a touchdown.
Let's see what they call. He's saying safety right now. The ref right on top of it. If it went out of bounds before, because he tried to pick it up and kick it, right?
He tried to kick it.
I think it might have already gone.
Unless
he was already out of
stepped on the
bounds.
line, maybe. Yeah, I think maybe.
I think he was
thinking about it.
He was
probably
out
of the end
safety.
zone.
I'm not going to argue with that. As you called it, that's a dangerous place to be. Over his head, Bulldogs right there, and now Fredericksburg has to kick off from the 20. I don't have a good shot of the scoreboard here, so I have to look up. 8:35 to go. 8:35 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead 2-0.
Yep, in the first inning, it's 2-0 Bulldogs.
Baseball
it's
playoffs.
Too early for baseball.
No, we had people hitting 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. Crazy stuff. All right, 8:35 to go. Bulldogs lead on the defense. Defense looking strong early. So they get the safety. And they are going to tee it up. Kicker at his number 58. For Fredericksburg.
I bet he doesn't.
Charles Ryan.
I bet he doesn't put this in the end zone.
If he does, that will be a story. He's kicking from his own 20 and puts the left foot into it. Going to be returned from the 30, the 35. Stanford's got room on the outside. Past midfield, lowers the shoulder. Going to get near the 40 to, I think, about the 39-yard line in Fredericksburg territory. You get the safety, you get the 2 points, and you get great field position.
And really, largely in part from Coronado, who just pancake blocked one of the Fredericksburg Billies and allowed the runner to go that far. Coach, it was a great block.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Fredericksburg 39-yard line. 8:26 to go in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead 2-0. A safety to start the scoring here tonight. Murray has Coronado in the backfield to his left. 2 receiver. Now he switches over to the right side. 2 receivers to the left. 1 to the right, short side of the field on 1st and 10. Murray going to hand it off to Coronado, looking for room, and he pushes forward, but Fredericksburg came up and hit that pretty quick, maybe a yard or 2 as they give him a yard gain to the 38. 2nd down and 9. He had to bounce that outside, and the help came. It's hot today, but still a little warm outside, but a beautiful evening here for football in Fredericksburg, Texas. Bulldogs trying to add to their 2-0 lead. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Murray in shotgun. Gets the snap, fakes it, throws it out in the flat, catch is made. That's Howell, and he's taken down pretty good open field tackle there by Fredericksburg, but he gets it to the 34-yard line, a gain of 4. Riley Howell with the catch. It'll bring up third down and about 5, and you got to believe any kind of positive yards. This is 2-down territory for the Bulldogs. They're at the Fredericksburg 34-yard line. I'd like to pick it up on third, but Coronado to the left of Murray on third down. One receiver split wide left. They're going to hand it off to Coronado on the sweep. No, up the middle. We got a flag. It was Pimentel, any quarterback. Did I see a flag come out? Yep, over on the 30. Let's see. I'm hoping defensive offsides. Yeah, he got it. Was Pimentel in at quarterback. Sorry, that switch happens, and I miss it. He went up the middle. I think he had the first down anyway. Let's see if they take the penalty. It is going to be offsides against Fredericksburg. He got down to the 29, so that was going to be a first down, 5 yards for Pimentel.
Yeah, that was a good play.
He was in at quarterback, right? They just I
Correct.
just didn't see that switch. And good fake to Coronado. I thought they were going to run the sweep, which looked like there was a lot of room.
And I think if he had handed it off, he would have gotten the first down easily. So either way there.
Now Murray in at quarterback. Pimentel goes back to slot wide receiver. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. Man goes in motion. Kasner to throw. Murray has time. Deep pass going to the end zone. Overthrows Williams. There was some holding going on, but the pass was over his head and incomplete.
May have had some confusion on the routes there, Mark, because Pimentel and Williams both ended up 5 yards from each other, so somebody was in the wrong spot. And, you know, it looked like Pimentel might have been wide open if he had continued a vertical route.
And, of course, Coach Fisher, we appreciate you starting early with the images. On 2nd and 10, Kasner in motion. Now they're going to hand it off to Coronado up the middle. Kasner acting as a blocker, and pretty big hit there as Coronado is pushed back. He does gain positive yards to the 26, gain of 3, but Fredericksburg hitting hard in there.
And they have pretty much every play, Mark. And of course, they're, a proud football program. They're going to come, their home field, they're going to come and hit hard.
So it's third down and about 7 for the Bulldogs at the 26-yard line of Fredericksburg. Bulldogs lead 2-0 here in the first. Murray to throw, the slant, and Pimentel can't come up with that. Incomplete. He had to work around a defender, and that'll bring up a 4th down from the 26-yard line. 4th down and 7. Obviously not going to punt it here, and I can't see probably, even though we saw the big leg but a new kicker up, that would be a long way. So Bulldogs look to be going on it 4th and long, 4th and 7.
Coaches need to draw up something here for an aggressive defense. They're really meeting our receivers at the line.
Yes, they have, yes. We have not had that open receiver. Murray to throw in the pocket. Pump fakes, then throws it, and a catch made by Coronado. Great job of adjusting to that. Murray, he stopped in full motion. Fortunately, the ball didn't come out. Then he sees Coronado, and Coronado out of the backfield makes the catch. He was an outlet there, a safety valve, or about the 4th check down, and he gets it to the 15. Let's see where they end up. No, I'm sorry, the 11-yard line. That's a 15-yard catch to Coronado from Murray.
Well, it was nice because the pocket developed so Murray could step up into it.
He had time. 1st and 10 from the 11. Murray hands off to Coronado on the sweep, and not much there. That was the short side of the field where they had blockers, but Fredericksburg did a good job of stringing that out. And we'll say a gain of 1 to the 10, but 2nd down and 9 now.
Gain of 1 to the 10. That gives Coronado 10 yards on 4 carries so far.
So 2nd and 9 from the 10. They could get a first down at about the 1-yard line. As Pimentel, as Murray goes wide left, Pimentel at quarterback. Now they're shifting 3 backs over, and they're going to block for Pimentel. He's got a blocker, now cuts inside to the 9, maybe the 8. He had blockers, but again, Fredericksburg really pursued well to have that many out in front of him. He couldn't find an opening. He gets to the 8. It's going to be 3rd down.
Fredericksburg realizes that, they can't give up a touchdown here. They really don't want to because they're having trouble moving the football.
4:20 and counting here in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead 2-0 on that safety. And now it is 3rd down. Again, they could get a first down at the 1. They're at the 8-yard line, so 3rd and 7. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, short side of the field. Murray at quarterback to throw. The slant, and it's high, trying to get it to Sanchez. And the coverage again right there. Bring up a 4th down. Now we might see the field goal unit.
I don't think – I mean, it's going to take quite a bit of contact tonight, Mark, to draw any kind of a interference call.
We don't send the – doesn't appear. As Trevin Park checks in, offense stays on the field. They can get a first down at the 1, but it's 4th down and about 7. Murray in shotgun. He had him to jump, but they didn't snap it. He had him offsides. They were looking. That's what the Bulldogs were looking for, and now they call a timeout. So we'll see what they decide to do. But they had the jump, but the snap wasn't made.
I know. I wonder if the change in center this week. We've saw that play, and then the illegal procedure, the fake snap. So got to adjust tonight and not let that be a factor.
So right now it's 4th down at the 8-yard line. I need 7 yards for a first down, 8 for a touchdown. Bulldogs did call a timeout. 3:59 to go, first quarter, 2-0 still. Bulldogs ahead with that safety. This was the ensuing kickoff. Got good field position, but now face a 4th down.
Really had the perfect play. You knew what the Bulldogs were going to do to get them to jump, and Murray did it again.
Yep. So let's see. Bulldogs offense is on the field. It's going to have trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Matthew Williams, short side of the field. Coronado to the left of Murray. It's Stanford, Williams, and Pimentel to the right. Murray, snap back on 4th down. Throws it back corner and over everybody. And
yeah, Marcus is being held, and he's asking the referee why he can't get that call.
And he ends up being an incompletion. He was trying to go, and as you said, those things you're gonna have to adjust to it because he couldn't get free, and it is an incomplete pass.
That's really the second play, Mark, we've seen where they've just grabbed the jersey, blatantly grabbed it, and you can see it coming away from their shoulder pads and just not getting that call.
Go over, turnover on downs. Fredericksburg starts at their own 8. They hand it off up the middle. And Cantu is hit hard, stood up, and then hit back. Again, that pursuit ended up 5 different Bulldogs hitting before he was down. Again, as you said, that does absolutely get into the head of why is it at the 10? They gave you 2 yards on that?
Wow.
Okay. All right. All right. The 10-yard line. So 2nd down and 8. I didn't think he made any movement forward. Snap back. To throw. Rolls. He's looking. He's in trouble. He's in the end zone. Immel tosses it up. It's hit, and Kasner dives for it. And then
you should not have a pass interference call. Surely we don't get it on this play.
Well, he was thrown into the back of towards the backfield. Immel's pass incomplete. It was hit, floated up.
The ball was tipped, or his arm was hit.
Yeah, but the umpire was looking through the flag towards, unless the Bulldogs didn't think it was a late hit.
Okay.
Illegal. That's the other thing when that much happens. Illegal receiver downfield. Unfortunately for us old linemen, after a while you forget where you're at. And so it was against Fredericksburg. It's declined. Used to, that was a loss of down, but it's not anymore. So declined, incomplete pass. Kasner made a dive for it as it fluttered up, but it fell to the turf. But it is 3rd and 8 from the 10. Immel, he rolled to the left, but he was running for his life, just looking for anything. Pressure had come. Bulldogs lead 2-0, 3:12 to go first quarter. Immel, Cantu to his right on 3rd down. In the pocket, has time, throwing deep, and should be in. It's incomplete. Kind of lost his footing. Cason O'Hare had a chance, and he knows it at an interception. They overthrew Beard, and Cason was trying to fall back to get it, but incomplete. But they will have to punt it away.
Well, smart defense by O'Hare and Stanford being deep enough that no one was going to get by them.
And now, again, you got to have that in their head. The last punt went over the punter's – the snap went over the punter's head. He's in his end zone again.
Well, and look at the alignment by the Billies. They've all come in tight instead of spread out.
The snap is back. It's a good snap, and the punt is away. Bulldogs takes a good Fredericksburg bounce on the turf, but still be good field position. But they gained about 20 yards onto the Burnett side of the field, and they'll mark it at the 43-yard line. 43. Bulldog defense outstanding. Now the offense, it has not looked terrible, but it hadn't quite looked in sync yet, so time to put that score 2-0. Bulldogs lead, 2:53 to go first quarter.
Yeah, the offense has moved the football, just no points to show for it.
And give Fredericksburg some credit again. They have been physical, and if it's not a hold if they ain't calling it. That's what I've heard. So Bulldogs start at their own 43. Murray with two backs in the backfield. Snap back, give it to Coronado, and I think now they're gonna try to establish a little more run. And it is a gain past the 45 to about the 47. So that's a gain of 4.
Well, as hard as Fredericksburg has hit, I think that's where you've got to attack them, and we may see a lot more of that.
Yeah. And you wear them down, and then you'll see some of those big runs. Now pistol formation, Coronado behind Murray. And they do hand it off to him again and lowers the shoulder and pulls defenders with him for the first down. And you really, if you're watching it, that's the way it needs to be described, because he had the shoulder down and he pulled them for a first down. Past midfield to the 47-yard line on the Fredericksburg side of the field. That's a gain of 6.
It should have been 8.
You're right.
He got to the 45.
Yeah, they mark it at the 43. It is a first down. First and 10 from the Fredericksburg 47-yard line, 47. Man goes in motion, Coronado. This time they swing it out to him. He makes the catch, got the block down the sideline. He'll get near the first down marker, past the 40. Let's see where they end up marking. They're going to be very close, I think, at the 37 or 38-yard line. They gave him the 38, 9-yard gain. Second down and 1. That was a nice swing pass. Seemed like that side more natural when he kind of was able to ease into the catch, and then the blocking was there. Second down and 1 at the Fredericksburg 38-yard line. Bulldogs lead 2-0 here in the first quarter from Fredericksburg, Texas. Two backs in the backfield with Rhett Murray. Man goes in motion. That's Coronado again, but this time they hand it off to Kasner up the middle, and he's still on his feet and then knocked down for the first. He gets the first down, and he got to about 2 yards, but needed only about 1. Maybe 1.5. They get it to the 36-yard line, first down. Kasner with the 2-yard run.
That's 4 positive plays in a row, Mark, and that's what the Bulldogs are looking to do. Let's put that ball vertically down the field and go get in the end zone.
Kasner and Coronado again in the backfield with Murray. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. On first and 10 from the 36, Murray. Now Coronado again goes in motion. Murray to throw. And pocket breaks down, throws it off his back foot, gets the catch to Aiden Sanchez. Sanchez with a nice catch, but a great throw with a defender on him. He didn't step into it. He had to throw that one flat-footed, and he found Sanchez down at the 21-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain, Murray to Sanchez.
Mark, that is a quarterback play right there to get away. Again, another jersey grab, but this time it was on defense. And Murray's able to get away from him enough and put it right on the money to Sanchez.
Under a minute to go, first quarter. Bulldogs lead 2-0. They're driving. First and 10 at the Fredericksburg 21. Coronado again goes in motion. They hand it off to Kasner. Again, there's a hole up the middle. The 10, the 5. Now they're going to stop him at the 6-yard line. And he had a defender chasing him, but he got away. And that to the 6, that's a 15-yard run by Kasner. I like they're pulling Coronado to pull that linebacker away and then running it up the middle. Bulldogs 11 seconds. Are they going to try to get a playoff? They are. Are they lining up for it? It is first and 10 at the 6. First and goal from the 6. And they do not get the playoff. We're going to the second quarter. Not a lot of scoring, but good action here. Bulldogs will have it first and goal at the 6. When we come back, they lead 2-0 going to the second quarter on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM.
If you've ever watched any of the talent shows on television, you see people doing almost anything for attention. What are you doing to get noticed? Whose attention are you seeking? Will that really fulfill you? There is one person that changes all of that, and it's Jesus. He loves you and has a hope and purpose for your life. If you want to learn to have a personal relationship with Jesus, then call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us online at chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live. We'll start the second quarter. Bulldogs first and goal at the 6. What do you think about that first quarter, Coach Kaiser?
Great series here to finish the first quarter. Every play positive yardage, and just making Fredericksburg have to tackle. And I like the strategy right up the middle. Do some stuff around the end, but they're going to focus right up the middle in between the tackles.
We talked about it, and they definitely have used the running game more in this drive.
Some early scores real quick, Mark. Abilene Wiley, 0. Stephenville, 14. Brownwood Lions and Waco La Vega, no score. And Wimberley and Lampasas, no score.
Pimentel is in shotgun, except there's like 3 other backs with him. It's stacked. I mean, they're 3 inches apart. Pimentel gets it, hands it off to Coronado, who runs into his blocker, and that didn't go anywhere. That one might not be the one in the playbook over and over again. They had 2 backs to the left of Pimentel, shoulder to shoulder pad, and then tried to hand it off to him, but they end up losing. That was just a good play on the defense to get in there, and they lose 2 yards back to the 8.
Yeah, that one didn't quite work out the way it was maybe designed.
Second and goal from the 8. Murray will be in shotgun. He's got 3 receivers stacked on the left, 1 to the right. That's Stanford. He sends Stanford in motion. Murray in the pocket, looks to throw, in a little trouble. He's going to pull it down. He had a chance to run, then it's batted in the air, and it's incomplete. I think he had a better choice there to probably try to run that. There were too many red jerseys. Fortunately, it was batted away, incomplete. I thought he had a little room there at least to get close.
I thought so, too. In fact, I thought that's what he was going to do, and then he threw it right at the end. Just too many people in between him and the intended receiver.
Third and goal for the Bulldogs. So they have had struggles here in the red zone here tonight. They lead 2-0 on that safety, but no touchdown yet. And it is third and goal from the 8. Murray has Coronado to his left, and the Bulldogs had to call a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a quick one here and catch up on one of my spots. 2-0 Bulldogs lead on KMPN 95.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Tata, and not long ago a friend shared a video of 2-year-old Caden Elijah learning to walk. What's so special about a little boy learning to walk, you might ask? Well, Caden was born with a birth defect, and doctors recommended his mother terminate the pregnancy. But Caden's mother prayed the words of Psalm 28 over herself and her child, saying, "The Lord is my strength. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me." And oh, it is so clear that the Lord is the strength of Caden, because on that video, you can watch him taking step after step on his prosthetic legs. And with his little walker, he keeps repeating, "I've got it, I've got it, I've got it." Oh, friend, I don't know what difficult circumstances you're experiencing, but draw courage from the example of Caden. Let your heart trust in the Lord, because with him, you got it. And you know what? You can do it.
Third and goal from the 8. Murray, Coronado to his left. Trip receivers to the left. Murray to throw, slant, and it's caught. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Stanford in front of Beard. Beard right on him and takes him down. But a great throw and a great job of Colt Stanford to protect the ball. He goes into the end zone. 8-yard touchdown pass from Rhett Murray to Colt Stanford. Bulldogs lead 8-0 with the extra point to come.
Well, just like every play, Mark, that's every pass play, the coverage is tight, if not there early, and we're able to make the play anyways.
Marco Campos Huerta to attempt the extra point. Hold is good. Kick is on the way, and plenty of leg, and it's good. He kicked it a long way. They're still running it down. And
kid has a leg. That ball explodes off of his foot.
It's not like a low-line drive. It was 20 feet in the air. So it is 9-0. That is the score after the touchdown, the pass from Stanford, extra point. We are going to go ahead and keep it here with 11:03, so a minute gone in the second quarter. Bulldogs lead 9-0.
Well, that's what the Bulldogs needed. They've been knocking on the door, and the defense has been putting them in great position, and finally able to break through that and score that touchdown. Really nice throw, really nice catch by Stanford to put the Bulldogs up 9-0.
And Huerta will kick off now for the Bulldogs. Marco Campus Huerta again just up this week on varsity.
They better back up from what I've seen.
He is teed it up at the 40.
Now, I don't think you want to kick it to 5.
Yeah, Beard
is dangerous.
And this one, and he gets his leg into it. It's going to go to about the 5 this time, but away from Beard, returned to the 15. It's Cantu, and he's pulled down from behind at about the – and it's got to be Kastner again. It is again.
So I'm going to put Kastner on my fantasy football team. If we're talking about tackles and just overall play, he
is running down that, just following that the whole way, and he runs him down behind. It just perfect read on it and perfect play. Great tackle. They start at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he had some room to run, but Kastner closed that up and ended that in a hurry.
2 receivers to the left for Emmel, the quarterback. Man goes in motion. It was on the ground. He picks it up. They're going to try a trick play. Pass down the field, and it is caught. So they get it past midfield. The Bulldogs bid on that as they pitched it, I think, to 6. Or I think it was 6 who ended up throwing it, Harrison Langford. And he gets it past midfield to the 46-yard line. So they use a little trickery there and get a big gain of 34 yards. 1st and 10 Fredericksburg, first time on the Bulldog side of the field. Emmel, low snap, hands it off. That's not Cantu, number 22, and he found a hole. And that for Fredericksburg, his first carry, Luke Harkleroad. And he'll get from the 46 to about the 41, a gain of 5.
Well, that last play, Mark, Lather was there. He saw it, but he turned maybe the wrong way and just wasn't able to recover behind him.
2nd down and a long 5, Emmel. And then the Bulldogs knock over the
You might as well hit him.
Yeah,
if you're going to go.
If you're going, you're the nose guard. You don't get your number called a whole lot. And unfortunately, they don't get.
Unless you come out. And that's what just happened.
So they got a jump. But once he did jump, he did. And I was a center. You pay for those things. And as you're all alone, it gets down to the 36-yard line. So that gives them a first down after the penalty. 1st and 10 for Fredericksburg at the 36, Emmel. He's going to keep it himself, and he doesn't have much room. He does kind of fall forward there late for the Billies. Let's see, they give him the 34-yard line. So 2-yard gain for Emmel. 2nd down and 8.
The offense is giving the Bulldogs a 9-0 lead, but the defense needs to stay with what they've been doing.
Emmel, inch, pass, and over. Fortunately, bad pass because he had Beard down the side. No, it was not Beard. That time it was 6. Harrison Langford was open over there, but a bad pass by Emmel just missed him, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. He did find a little space over there.
There was room in between O'Hare and Williams. I thought O'Hare might have had a chance to go get that.
3rd and 8 for the Billies. Bulldogs lead 9-0 here. 9:24 to go. Second quarter. Emmel has to call timeout. We'll go ahead and get caught back up with 9 minutes and 24 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bulldogs lead 9-0 over the Fredericksburg Battling Billies on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMBN 95.9 FM.
Have you ever been lost? Actually, we know the answer because at one point or another, we've all been lost. Even thinking about those times in life when we didn't know where we are makes us feel uncomfortable. Is your relationship with God like that? Not sure which way to go and making no progress? Jesus came to offer the way and walk with us so we could find the path to true forgiveness, peace, and hope. If you want to experience that, then call us at 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us at chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here from Fredericksburg, Texas. Bulldogs lead 9-0. Bulldogs at 1-2. Fredericksburg 0-3 on the season. Bulldogs are home for the next 2 weeks. Homecoming in 2 weeks. 3rd down and 8. Emmel at quarterback. Man goes in motion, and he's going to throw. Has pressure coming, but throws deep. Going for the end zone to Beard, and Beard makes the catch with 3 defenders around him. This is the guy you got to watch for, and the Bulldogs had coverage, but Beard comes down with it. They just threw it up, and Beard went and got it. Touchdown of 34 yards, 34-yard touchdown from Emmel to Griffin Beard.
And we saw a little bit of that last year, Mark, where the ball would be in flight and the Bulldogs would be around it, just not able to get a hand on it.
Looked like they should have been, but couldn't. An extra point is on the way, and we're going to go ahead and keep it here. It's good. Makes it 9-7, so the Billies answer with 2 big plays. We talked about the big play hurting the Bulldogs, and it did hear much. You talked just a second.
And the trick play.
Yes.
And we talked about that in the pregame about how this rivalry has seen some trick plays and meaningful trick plays to put teams in the playoffs one year.
How much time on the clock?
Well, there's 9:16 left. Right. So, we go scoreless for the entire first quarter, and then the first 3 possessions of the second quarter result in scores.
And that was a 34-yard touchdown pass.
Or the first 2, I guess.
So it's 9-7. Bulldogs still with the lead, but Fredericksburg with the answer there. Now that's a tough one to get 3rd and 8, and you're just really – it's a bit of a Hail Mary pass.
Oh, it was definitely a chunk up, and again, the Bulldogs had 3 defenders just close, but nobody in a position to make the play.
Fredericksburg will kick off here. I tee it up, and going to be a line drive kick return from the 6-yard line.
Need to run this up the middle.
Stanford still on his feet. He was hit early, but stays on his feet past the 20 to about the 22 or 23-yard line. So the Billies get a touchdown, make it 9-7. Bulldogs offense will come back out on the field. They'll start this drive. Still waiting for him to place the ball.
Coach Messer in rare form tonight.
Yes, he is. He's wrong again, though. Not what I said. We'll just leave it at that. So it's the 23-yard line for the Bulldogs. They start at their own 23, leading 9-7. Murray in shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. Pimentel goes in motion, and they will hand it off to Pimentel. He's trying to find space, and the stretched out stuff has not worked against Fredericksburg. It ends up losing yardage as Pimentel trying to get to the edge, but there were a lot of red jerseys, and they lose yardage back to the 19-yard line. That's a loss of 4 on the sweep. 2nd down and 14.
Yeah, just haven't had much success around the ends tonight.
Trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left on 2nd and long. Murray. He's going to hand it off to Coronado up the middle and spin move and gets maybe 2 yards. And Fredericksburg's coming out fired up after the score, and they right now got the Bulldogs set back at 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. It'd be big for the Billies if they get able to get their offense right back on the field.
Well, oftentimes you'll see the first play of the next series after a touchdown just going for it. Run some kind of a deep pattern and chunk it up and see what you can get.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left on 3rd and 12 for the Bulldogs at their own 20. Murray in the pocket. Has time, throwing deep. He has a man. Pimentel makes a catch at the 50, and he's knocked down from behind, but gets a big first down at the 40. He got behind the defenders, a big play, and it takes to the 41-yard line. and that is 29 and 9. That's 38-yard gain to the Fredericksburg 41 on 3rd and long. Big play, Murray to Pimentel. 1st and 10 Bulldogs.
There it was, Mark, the deep pass.
Yes, and he was behind him. He was about a half a step from going all the way. They had to dive at him. Snap. They're going to fake it. Throw in the middle. Got a man wide open. Riley Howe's going to get the touchdown from 41 yards. There was a lot of motion going on, and it tricked the Fredericksburg Battlin's Billy defense. Howe was all alone at the 10. We saw that last week where he came wide open, and all Murray had to do was lay it in there, and all Riley had to do was don't drop it because nobody's 30 yards near me, and he does it, and he takes it in. 41-yard touchdown, Rhett Murray to Riley Howe. Extra point to come here. Campus Huerta's kick is on the way, and again, high, long kick, and it's good for the extra point. So a 41-yard touchdown, extra point's good. It is 16-7. What a quick turnaround when you had it 3rd and long. You get 2 big pass plays, but that was beautifully designed. It took a little time, but he had time in the pocket, and then Hal just all by himself.
Yeah, he was by himself, Mark. And the trick play seemed to be what's getting the touchdowns done tonight. You've seen it both by the Billies and the Bulldogs, but that one was just very well executed. 2 fakes to the running back, and Hal was, that suckered in the safeties, and Hal was just wide open.
That really was nobody 30 yards. Anybody, Burnett. He was
completely fooled the secondary.
Murray's second touchdown pass. So it was Hal who had the pass, but it was a little bit to the left, but that same that type of play last week when he came wide open that they had last week against Academy.
What was their mascot last week?
I think they were the Bumblebees. That's they had
something
that big
like
thing blow up. And Huerta kicks it off and going to be returned from the 1-yard line. Trying to get to the outside at the 15 and pushes to the ball. Comes out late. It's on the ground. He tried to get extra yardage. I think Bulldogs might have this. Let's see. Referee's looking. Bulldog football. So the return man he was trying to do everything he could, and that little extra Luke Harkleroad gets hit. Bulldogs, again, that swarming, that pursuit that they talk about, and it showed there. Bulldogs take over at the 20 and really leading 16-7. Sorry, Coach. 16-7 with 6:57 to go in the second quarter, can take control here.
Well, I'm going to give you one guess, Mark, as to who the first tackler was.
I'm going to guess Kasner was somewhere close.
You would be right. Now, he didn't end up making the tackle, but he turned the running back around, and then 3 Bulldogs bring him down, and that was the key in making the ball come loose.
Harkleroad was just trying to get more yards, but sometimes you got to know to go down. He just kept getting hit till it came out. That's Murray and Pimentel in the backfield. 2 receivers right now. Pimentel goes. They swing it to him. He's going to throw it, and he has a man wide open. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Is that number 8? David Prather, check that for me. It looked different. He was wide open. So it was Murray and Pimentel. Pimentel backs up in motion. Laterals. It is Prather. It is David Prather with a touchdown of 20 yards from Marcus Pimentel. The trick play works. Get the extra point. I'll let you talk a little bit about that. Awesome play design. Snap back. Hold is good by Pimentel. It's blocked. Pimentel picks it up, tries to run it in. They had somebody come up the middle. The kick was on the way, but it is no good. No good on the extra point. I got to catch up with some paperwork here. But Pimentel just swings out, and as soon as he swung deep, you could almost see it. You knew it was coming from up here. And Murray tosses it back to him, a little pass back, lateral, and all alone was Prather with his first varsity touchdown as far as I know.
Well, it was great motion, and it's kind of rare how Pimentel went in motion. He was on the same side.
Yes.
He was on Murray's right, and he goes kind of a bubble motion on the same side. Murray just turns and throws it, and then it was a pass all the way. No one even touched Prather. He came from the slot. really from the tight end spot, if I remember right.
Yeah,
and he just runs right by everybody. No one touched him. The safety might have looked at him, but he didn't guard him.
15 yards away from him.
And
you know that ball had to look little coming in there, but he got two hands and he kind of backed into the end zone. He was turned back to the end zone.
It did, and Pimentel, he was so wide open, he just kind of flung it out there. It didn't even have to be all that accurate. Great play.
22-6, the extra point was blocked. The kickoff here, another line drive kick, and it goes at the 1, but it stays in. It goes into the end zone. If it bounces this way, but the backs, they didn't want to try to pick that up. It bounced maybe at the half-yard line, and it bounced up and then kind of fell back into the end zone. If not, it's a live ball.
They're going to watch that one on video and probably instruct them to
that,
guard that a little bit better.
But also, I'm sorry, Campos worked to keep doing that. If you put it right there every time.
That was
He has
impressive.
been a weapon tonight.
He really has been.
All right, it is 22-7. Bulldogs lead. So after the turnover on the kickoff, now it's Fredericksburg got the ball after this kickoff. They hand it up the middle, and it's going to be – so he's taking over. I haven't seen Cantu now in a few plays. It's Luke Harkleroad with the carry, and they did start at the 20. Fredericksburg got that up to the pretty good gain to the 30. It started at the 25. Sorry, of course, after the touchback. Rolls Emmel to his right. Looks to run it, pulls it down, and goes out of bounds.
Ooh, goodness.
One of our, did we slip?
I hope so.
I think it was just a slip maybe. Let's see where he got the yardage. So Emmel kept it, but I don't think he got the first down. Very close. No, they're going to say short. He's at that was from the 30, 31, and now they're at the 33. So it is 3rd down and 2. 3rd and 2 from the 33. Goes under center. Now he drops back, Emmel. Now he's going back under center.
Can't make up his mind.
And he's going to sneak it. And they're just kind of trying to push everybody forward. I'm thinking they might have given it to him. That was a strange play all the way around. With Fredericksburg trying to get the first down. They do. So they just kind of get in that scrum and push everybody forward, and he gets to the 35. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Fredericksburg.
Well, the action of moving back and forth does move our linebackers up and back.
6 minutes to go. Sorry, first half, 22-7. 22-7 Bulldogs lead. Hope I didn't say 6 earlier, but it is 22-7. Trip receivers to the left. Emmel. We got a penalty flag. The handoff to Harkleroad is for positive yards. See, does this jump us off sides?
This might be against us.
They didn't stop the play, yeah. The run was
no illegal procedure.
Wow. So did not see that, but it was against Fredericksburg, so that it helps the Bulldogs. So instead of a run of 5 or 6, it'll push it back to the 30. Make it 1st and 15.
Yeah, I missed that one. I didn't see anybody move unless they weren't set for a second.
Maybe the slot right there, but not much. So it is 1st and 15 for the Billies. Emmel in the pocket to throw. Waits now, has to run, pulls it down. He's going to, Bulldogs a late hit. That's not I think, and somebody who plays really smart football, but it was right at that edge. I think it was Kasner. But, the quarterback didn't make a straight move to the sideline, and he didn't want him to move. But you're going to get that call most times when you're that close. And so, personal foul. It's a big 15 yards against the Bulldogs. As Emmel.
Mark.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that on instant replay just because it's hard to let up. And I don't know that Emmel was out of bounds that much. I mean, it was close.
Yeah, it was. So, but either way, you get the gun. They're going to protect quarterbacks very often. You see that, and it gets to the 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. So it moves the ball up.
Oh no, going to pull Kastner out. That's not good for the Bulldogs. Probably something on his uniform. Wonder what trick play the Billies are going to come up with here.
Yeah, right now, it does kind of seem to be that way.
You're going to top your trick play with this one.
Emmel is going to hand it off on the sweep. Harkleroad nowhere to go. He does find a little bit to get a yard to the 50, but Bulldogs read that well.
Bulldog coach is asking for a hold and don't get it.
2nd down and 9. Ball right at the 50-yard line. It's 5:02. Clock runs here in the 2nd quarter. Bulldogs lead 22-7. Been a lot of big plays. Been a lot of things going on, including a safety. Emmel looks to the sideline for the Billies. Brooks Emmel, the quarterback. He changes the play, moves Harkle Road to his right, 2 receivers to the left. Snap. Emmel pitches it to Harkle Road, and he had nowhere to go. My goodness. They had a Bulldog in front of him, Bulldog behind him. Park might have been the first one. Or Lopez, thank you. There were several coming in there, and it's a loss back to the 47-yard line. That's a loss of 3. Back to the Fredericksburg side of the field, make it 3rd and about 12 for the Billies.
Yeah, big play for the Bulldogs. Would really like to get them off the field here and then keep the ball the rest of the half and get the ball at the beginning of the 2nd half.
Emmel on 3rd and long in shotgun, but he throws it out in the flat on the end. Wow. It was Harkle Road who made the catch then. He got a tough hit, but he gets the first down. Harkle Road comes out of the backfield, and good pass by Emmel. He found him in stride on the right side and gets it to the 36-yard line of Burnett.
That was a
17-yard gain.
An extremely nice pass, Mark, to drop that ball right again in between the 2 defenders.
1st and 10, Emmel. He's going to hand it off to Harkle Road this time and makes a good half step and opens up some more room, and he gets past the 30 down to the 28-yard line. That's a gain of 8. Clock runs 3:27, 22-7 Bulldogs lead, but Fredericksburg now has a drive going.
Well, Mark, our defensive line either is gassed a little bit or not playing great technique. They're just standing up and not getting much pressure in the backfield.
So it is now 2nd down and a long 2. Emmel, new back in the backfield with him. Emmel's going to roll to his right, looks to throw, then has to throw it away. He was getting to the sideline. It's incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and 2 for Fredericksburg. The ball sits at the Burnett 28-yard line, pardon me. And I have 2 receivers to the left. I think that's 42 in there. Jordan DeLuna in the backfield with Emmel. It is. Trip receivers to the left. Beard in the slot on 3rd and 2. Clock is stopped after that incompletion.
They don't have much time. Time just ran out.
And they lost. Let's see, unless they called a timeout
they
over
gave
there.
them a timeout.
So timeout Fredericksburg.
No, they still have 1 left.
All right, so we'll keep it here.
I'd really, Margaret, we're going to go back to that personal foul on the sideline, and if Fredericksburg is able to score here, that's the play that kept them alive, and whether it was close or not, it didn't go the Bulldogs' way, and so Bulldogs need to stiffen up right here and make sure that nothing gets in the end zone.
I just moved my microphone out of the way, then talk. Maybe that's the way people would like it better. Let's vote on that. You have them at the 28. They can get a first down here. But time is, they have one more timeout, but it is low here. We saw that last week against Academy. A scored late in the half, and those are the kinds of things that can really turn a game, whether here tonight, but obviously Fredericksburg still well in this game. That one not hurt quite as much as we'd already had 36 points, but still, those are the kinds of things that can flip a field, flip the game plan. So you want to keep them out here, stating the obvious.
Exactly. And you've got to be on your toes. You got to think about what Fredericksburg's going to do, and do they run another play action or pitch pass?
It is 3rd and 2. Emmel rolls to his right. Bulldogs try to bring pressure, but he slips through. They had some people there, but he kind of turned his shoulders, and Emmel picks up the first down to the 24-yard line, a gain of 4. Clock will start running again. 2:45 to go in the first half.
Yeah, that's a nice job of slipping through all that.
Yeah.
Because there were plenty of Bulldog white shirts to make that tackle.
Immel. Snap back in the pocket. Throws it out to the – and he's had that a couple of times. I don't think it's on purpose. Kind of sails that one well over the head of the receiver. It wasn't open, but incomplete, 2nd and 10.
They definitely like to roll Immel out to his right hand.
Yes.
Haven't really had anything to this side.
So 2nd and 10, ball at the Burnett 24.
So you got to think if he does roll this way, it's a run.
He's in the pocket this time, has time, middle of the field, throws underneath the Beard. Good tackle, though. Didn't let Beard get away. Clock keeps running at
kept
21.
him in bounds.
Yep. 3-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 7. Clock, still, they have plenty of time. 2:10 on the clock, but it is now 3rd down and about 7.
Big 3rd down.
At the 21-yard line. Immel has Harkle Road to his left. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He looks to the sideline. I think that's Cantu back in there. It is Cantu back in the backfield. Immel. Pressure coming up the middle. He throws to the end zone. Great job of knocking it away. That was Laidler, wasn't it? Laidler did a nice job timing that, bounces it away. Beard was about a half a step behind him, but great coverage, incomplete, 4th down.
That's the play that we've been looking for. The Bulldogs were close, and they make the play there. Get a hand on it and tip it away from Beard, the intended receiver.
4th and 7. They're going to attempt a field goal spotted at the 28-yard line. Let's see. Snap is back. Hold is good. It's blocked. It's on the ground. Picked up by one of the Bulldogs, and it'll be Bulldog football at the 35.
With a minute and a half left in the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to go score.
Yes.
Big play.
Huge
play. Not sure. See if I can.
It might have been Park.
Remember who was.
Some extra high fives or high jumps.
Must have been him. Yep.
But I think Park was the one who came through and got the block.
You know, he's been close for 2 years, really, coming from the edge on extra points, and I wonder often how he doesn't get it.
Different Park.
Different Park, but
see, it's
number 10.
It does. And look, this is Trevin Park, but he has made his presence felt this season already, too, as a sophomore. I'm sorry, he's a junior, pardon me. In the first play, Murray throws it out, and Stanford has to take a hit, but he makes the catch. Did he? They not give him the catch?
I guess he dropped
I guess
it.
not. I thought Beard was coming fast. Stanford had to go incomplete, so it's 2nd and 10. The ball's at the 35. My apologies for that.
As fast as Beard is, I think you want to go get that ball instead of letting it come to you.
He was waiting for it, and he got hit. 2nd and 10. There's a minute 25 to go. First half, trip receivers to the right. Swings it out to Sanchez. Can't hold it. Incomplete. And he kind of looked upfield. He had some blockers, but turned his head, and it's incomplete. And quickly, 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd down and only 10 seconds. No, 13 seconds have gone off the clock since we had the ball. And I give Fredericksburg some credit, but we have not looked quite as well. We haven't looked as sharp as last week. Just everything on those, even those kind of pass plays, we were just 10 or 11 different. All right, now what do you do here? Do you get the clock running?
Get 10 yards, throw a pass. Complete it. Let's go. Murray in shotgun. He is in the pocket. Looks to throw the slant to Stanford, who is hit early. There's the flag. The coaches were they were telling the one ref, you got to give us one of these. And Beard did come in early. Stanford still had his body where he could catch it, but Beard was wrapped around him, and that's going to give the Bulldogs a first down there. You get a penalty, get a first down. That's
no question about it.
And that's what they scored the touchdown on, and just a great route.
He just had him wrapped up before the ball even got there, and they've been doing that all night, been physical, which is great, but you
gets it to the
didn't get away with it there.
1st and 10, so it gives a new set of downs. They actually mark it to the 46. What do we got? Reese, to the hash mark. Had to move the hash mark. Okay. Move it to the other hash mark.
Mr. Barrett has been holding on to that photo for quite a while.
Yeah, no, he hadn't.
Just at the right time.
No, it was this week. And and that's why it's hard to work for some
I was going to say
people.
welcome back
Yeah,
to Burnett.
First
High
and
School.
10 at the 46. Murray in pocket, throws deep,
Got
has
him.
a man. Diving attempt and pass just a little overthrown. Sanchez can't come up with it. He had to dive, but if he's in stride, he's 5 yards
Mark.
past everybody.
That needs to be caught. If he's going to throw that to you, you've got to go get it. And he gave a great effort. Just want to come up with that. Do we get a timeout?
I believe so. With a minute 8. We'll go. We'll keep it here.
Well, not
'Cause
much time.
I got to get a chance to, Mr. Barrett. Appreciate that. Yeah. No, I knew that was coming. No, I just want you to know. Y'all don't know this. So it was lunch. I had eaten lunch. I work hard, and I might have taken a nap in a chair, but it was lunch. It's in the lounge. I was working so hard the rest of the time. Thank you, Mr. Barrett.
I really thought you were going over your lesson plan.
That actually is me going over my lesson plan. That's when I'm at my best. The only thing that bothers me is
visualizing.
The photoshopping of the stomach.
That's what it was.
That stomach can't be real. All right, sorry. Why am I here? Somebody explain to me why. Don't forget, Mr. Barron is the one who told me the first week that I did radio. I had a face for radio, and that was like 19 years ago. So it's still there. All right, 2nd and 10. Okay, football. 22-7. Bulldogs lead. 1:08 to go. We're just having too much fun. Let's score another touchdown. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Murray in shotgun. Coronado to his left. He's going to throw. Pressure comes. He's hit. Has to throw it up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Should have been intercepted. Murray took a big hit, but it is incomplete. Just fluttered up there, but they could not come up with the interception. A big play for Fredericksburg there to not be able to come up.
No one's catching Murray's passes on this drive.
Right.
Not even the red team.
Do appreciate Dan, KMPN, helping us out tonight. Top of the hour, you are listening to Burnett Football on KMPN Burnett. Minute 2 to go. It's 3rd and 10. Murray with trip receivers to the left. He rolls that way, throws, and he's going to get the catch. Not the first down, but it looks like a hold in the backfield, so this will come back. Park made the catch, I believe they're out, or was it Williams?
Would have been just short of the first, but he did make a nice catch and a nice throw.
But the hold in the backfield will. So Bulldogs struggling with some penalty. So that'll move it all the way back. But we've gotten guys open down the field, so we give him the time and they can do it again. I mean, we have their secondary confused. But it puts it back to the 36-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 20, 55 seconds to go, 22-7. Bulldogs still lead.
I don't know, with Campos Horta's leg, I might try one from right here, Mark.
The 80-yard,
the extra points we're going to have to pick up from Whataburger on the way
Trip
up.
Receivers to the left on 3rd and 20. One receiver to the right, short side of the field. Murray gets the snap back. He gonna get hit, but he throws it, and too late. And I don't know if the route was broken off down the field, but incomplete, and we'll punt it away. We don't want to give up something late here in a short field, so we will bring Laidler back to punt. So kind of that was an uneven drive to say the least, but going to force a punt. Bulldogs do get the second half kickoff. Laidler.
Need to make sure we get this off.
Yep, and gets it away. High kick. Oh, takes a bit of a Fredericksburg bounce. And it'll be decent field position. That bounce hurt a little bit as it went back to the 45-yard line. So they'll start just on the other side of midfield, will the Billies, at their own 45.
Well, the Bulldogs have done a decent job of getting deep and not allowing Beard to get behind them, and they're going to really need to focus.
They got to focus that here.
They're going to focus on that right here so that doesn't happen with only 26 seconds left. Or maybe Fred comes out and takes a knee. We'll see.
If they take a knee, it's a trick play.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Emmel in shotgun, 2 receivers to the left. He's in the pocket to throw, has time now. He pulls it down. He's going to run and slides at about the 49-yard line. Now he picks up about 4.
Which is really not good because that's good.
Clock. They're having to rush up to the line now. 2nd down and 7, and he spikes it, so he gives up a down with 6 seconds left. So the Bulldogs now really got to play that deep coverage. Don't let anybody behind. Just 6 seconds to go, second quarter. It's 3rd and long for the Billies. They're at their own 48-yard line.
So Pimentel checks in for extra coverage.
Emmel in shotgun, only rush 3. Throws it deep, middle of the field, up for grabs, and should have been intercepted, but when it wasn't, Beard standing there, you worry. But that's incomplete, and that does run off the last 6 seconds of the first half. So a few things to work on, but overall, good aggressive first half. The Bulldogs lead the Battling Billies of Fredericksburg 22-7 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
Ever since the publication of H.G. Wells' The Time Machine in 1895, people have been captivated by the idea of traveling in time. In that book, a scientist built a time machine and traveled far into the future. Then he returned and told his astonished friends what the world was going to be like in 800,000 years. The truth is that we are all time travelers, traveling toward the future. And at the end of our journey, there's a destination that we can scarcely imagine. It's a destination called eternity. Our Creator designed us to live forever, but because of man's rebellion, death came into the world. Then God sent His Son, Jesus, to redeem eternity for anyone who would place his trust in Him. If you'd like to learn how you can begin a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, just call us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to our website, chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmondson back with you live on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM. 22-7, our halftime score. Bulldogs lead here in Fredericksburg. The Esprit de Corps about to take the field, and yes, it is the first time in full regalia, so they're in their marching uniforms. Of course, the Esprit de Corps, the Vernon High School Band, and the Highlandettes, and always doing such a great job, but they're going on the field. So, yeah, tonight, again, their first time. And I'm sure a little warm to have to do it, but getting used to it as the season of contest heats up. But they are taking the field and got all their props and everything about to go on. So they'll do a tremendous job, as they always do. We are here at halftime. We'll take a little bit of a break here. We come back, we'll give you the stats of the first half. We do appreciate you joining us as it is 22-7. Bulldogs lead the Fredericksburg Battling Billies here at halftime from Fredericksburg, Texas on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
In some respects, I led a privileged childhood. I grew up in a rural Iowa town with good schools and recreation programs. I was one of the oldest of 9 children, but we always had enough of everything. Our lifestyle came at a price, though. Dad worked on a rail yard, but had a series of other odd jobs to provide for us. Some of my siblings earned extra income tasseling corn over the summer, and we all worked hard around the house, picking vegetables, pickling them for the winter, and helping Mom bake bread and do all the household chores. With so much work to be done, we had little time to socialize with friends. The only day off we had was Sunday, when we all worshiped together as a family. My oldest sister began to resist my parents' strict rules. She moved out, so I began to absorb more responsibilities caring for my younger siblings. My mother sank into a depression and suffered from headaches. I began to doubt myself, as well as the faith I'd once accepted without question. After speaking with older Christians and praying for guidance, I learned that it's normal to doubt faith, and that questioning things can help us find answers that make our faith even stronger. I've learned that everyone needs a Savior to give them peace of mind and to protect them from the darkness in their hearts. I'm Madeline Nelson. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
I've been reading a book that's full of adultery, murder, and intrigue. Pretty wild stuff, really. One chapter that's captured my attention chronicles the story of an Army officer who had an affair with the wife of one of his soldiers. She became pregnant, and in an attempt to cover that affair, the officer arranged for her husband to be murdered. There's more to the story, but you'll have to read it in the Bible. That's right, the Bible. Perhaps you thought the Bible was a book about perfect people who never did anything wrong. You know, I used to think that too, until I discovered that God talks a lot about the bad and the disobedient things all of us have done, and He calls those things sin. God provided for your forgiveness when He sent His Son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross and pay for the penalty for your sins. Jesus rose from the dead to give you eternal life. To learn how you can find forgiveness through Jesus, call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM.
This is Max McLean. Have you felt the guilt of sin? Where can you turn? Listen to the Bible from Psalm 51. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your unfailing love. According to your great compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash away all my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only, have I sinned and done what is evil in your sight, so that you may be proved right when you speak and justified when you judge. Surely you desire truth in the inner parts. You teach me wisdom in the inmost place. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. From Psalm 51. Listen to the Bible. It's great for the soul.
This is Seeking Him with Nancy DeMoss Swagamuth. Please leave your question at the tone.
My friend is talking about leaving her husband again. She wants my advice, but I just don't know what to say. Who am I to tell her what to do?
It can be hard to know what to say to someone who's hurting or confused or struggling about what to do. But the truth is, they don't really need our advice. They need to know what God says in His Word. The Word of God is alive and powerful. It's medicine for troubled hearts and minds. Psalm 119 describes it as a lamp to our feet and a light for our paths. Whatever our need, whatever our circumstances, the Word of God is sufficient. By getting into the Scripture, you'll gain wisdom for life's toughest situations, and you'll be ready to help others who are seeking the truth. With Seeking Him, I'm Nancy DeMoss Swagamuth.
All that glitters isn't gold.
Scams are nothing new.
In days gone by, con men would cover a brass ring with a thin layer of gold.
He'd then go into a crowd, drop it where it might be seen, and when someone saw it and went to pick it up, the con artist would reach for it too.
I saw it first.
He'd then suggest,
we could split the ring between us, unless you want to keep it. Just buy my half.
It seemed like great value for a gold ring, but the ring was actually a phony, where we probably get the word phony.
A lot of people today are reaching for something that will give them a sense of security, and they're not necessarily bad things.
But when they seem to have everything, they can actually feel a bit taken, because all that glitters isn't gold.
Jesus said He came so that you could have life the way God intended.
Total forgiveness,
lasting peace,
satisfaction,
and life forever in heaven.
Find out more. Call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM.
You can even chat live with someone now
at needhim.org.
Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser back with you live here on BTXSportsOnline.com, KMPN 95.9 FM. Of course, thanks to Chad Nelson for helping with the BTX Sports Online. We are using the YouTube channel. Again, you can go to that link. and listen to the game. The games are archived there, just audio. Now next it'll still be there. We'll be there next week, but now next week we'll be at home, Gatesville.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Are we at home? Yes.
Yes, we are.
For 2 weeks, Gatesville, and then San Angelo. If I get it in the wrong direction,
Lakeview.
Yes. And that'll be homecoming. So next week's not homecoming, but the next week is. However, I believe it's senior night next week, and the senior bonfire's Thursday night. Pretty sure it's the 26th.
That is correct.
So they're having that next. That's the senior bonfire will be Thursday, and then homecoming, the festivities, parade, and everything the following week. But we will be home, and of course we'll be going on the YouTube channel. But we'll also be going through the video feed of Damon at the home game. So it's been a while. This is our third week on the road, so it'll be nice to get back at home. Be extra nice to come back on a 2-game winning streak. So the Bulldogs lead 22-7 half. Esprit de corps, and again showing that great energy on the field as they are getting near the completion of their performance. Of course, always doing a great job, the band and the Highlandettes, and they're just finishing up their performance to a good crowd cheer here as they walk off the field. And I was going to let you do the stats. That's what I was going to let you do here in a second. 22-7 Bulldogs lead here at halftime.
I will do that. The main stat that matters, Mark, is the Bulldogs lighting up their side of that really big scoreboard. 22 points for the Burnett Bulldogs on their side. So the individual stats, though, start with the passing game, and that's Rhett Murray, 7 of 14. We've had some drop passes, and haven't been, exactly sharp in that area, but he has still thrown. Even though he's only completed 50% of his passes, he's thrown for 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I guess that's what matters, and we are putting some points on the board. Receiving those passes, you have Sanchez, 1 catch for 15. Riley Howe, 2 catches for 45. Pimentel, 1 catch for 38. Coronado, 2 for 24. Stanford, 1 for 8. And Prather, 1 for 20. In fact, out of Murray's first 7 passes, he only completed 2. And so we started out pretty slow. That was all in the first quarter. And then things picked up, and the second quarter was a whole lot different. So on the ground, we've had more success through the air, and on the ground, you have the leading rusher of Coronado with 8 carries for 20 yards. Kastner, 2 carries for 17. Pimentel has run it twice for -3. I was thinking, Mark, I really like how the coaches are utilizing the personnel. You've got pretty accurate quarterback. You've got really good receivers. You've got really good running backs that do some great things. You've got Pimentel, who you can move around a little bit in those areas.
He's thrown a touchdown pass. Murray too.
So I think the way they plug them in and the positions that they're playing, I think, is a really good thing. The coaches are doing a really good job of that.
Last week he scored 5, but now, again, and the position. And, thinking about the running game, I got at least in kind of watching that, but I don't always connect that at the time. That's something the Billies are trying to take away, and so there's been the passing, and we have seen that. So it is always about taking advantage, and Coach Spear talked about that in his show tonight, and that is, what makes a really good team is the ability to adjust to those things, and they have shown that. And as you say, I did want to mention, I'm going to let you say one more thing. We'll take one more break, but because so many things are going on, made me think of it. Caroline Lunsford is a Highlandette coming off the field, lovely young lady, and but I know the swim team, as I get to work with Coach Gerper some in the classroom, had a meet yesterday, and they were waiting on the final numbers and everything, but they thought they had done very well. And it just made me start thinking about all the different, these athletes, but the esprit de corps, and so many different things going on. You had a golf tournament this week,
Yeah.
Tennis and cross country going on. It just and they just spend so much time, and we just got to give them credit all across the board at Vernon High School of all the things they do. Of course, the coaches, but the kids.
Oh,
and
for
how
sure.
much they
And if anybody knows the results of some of those things, send those to us.
Volleyball.
Volleyball played tonight. I've been out of school for a couple of days, and so I haven't been able to read and get caught up on some of those. We did have a golf tournament Wednesday, played in Salado. I took 5 guys. Vance Bachta shot a 78, really good score. And for the first time ever that I have ever seen, 3 teams, and we were one of them, finished in a tie for second at 336 for team total. I've seen 2 teams tie, but I've never seen 3. And we end up getting 4th on the tiebreaker. So kind of a painful way to go out, but kids did a fantastic job. And we're scoring 336 with Leander's second team and Round Rock. So, no shame there. So that's what we've got. That's what we had going on this week. And I know cross country, I asked for some cross country stuff. So of course, both Coach Jones and Coach Weldon had to send me some videos of Forrest Gump. And so, there you go.
That's better than what I got from Barrett.
That's definitely true. But what that means is there will be no announcing of what the real cross country team did unless you send me some stuff.
All right. Well, and we can work into that in the second half. We'll go ahead and take this break. Do appreciate it. But it is, we want to send out a big congratulations for all that's going on. And you want to win, but it's not, that's not always going to happen. It's about the desire and the commitment to work hard, and that is awesome.
Shout out to Coach Gates, who's listening from Burke Burnett.
So did he just think that he was coming back to coach and burn it again and just signed the wrong contract?
They're the Bulldogs too.
Yeah, and Bulldogs, are they green?
They are orange and black. If I remember right.
He walks in the first day in green, and we do wish him the best. And thanks for listening in. All right, we'll take this break at halftime. Bulldogs lead Fredericksburg. The Battling Billies 22-7 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
Don Barry couldn't resist temptation and wasted more than 40 years of his life on destructive pursuits. Blame it on his upbringing or his own weakness. The end result was an unhappy, pointless life. His parents sent him and his siblings to church, but he began snitching alcohol right after they split up. Drinking led to other rebellion, poor grades at school, stealing, lying, and an irresponsible attitude. He dropped out of school to join the Army and surprisingly did quite well, but just before he was discharged, he began doing drugs. Back home, he used heroin, sold drugs, and was soon in and out of jail so often his family disowned him. Living on the streets, he became so ruthless even he was shocked. Anything for a fix. The next 18 years were equally barren. Drug-running, arrests, a failed marriage. Homeless and hopeless, he stole food to survive. Then a pastor saw him on the street, took him in and prayed with him. After several sermons, Don invited Christ into his heart. Temptation still got the best of him for several years as he stumbled again and again. But his friends forgave him, God helped him, and slowly Don grew in faith. He married and yielded one last time to a drug binge. The hurt he caused his wife finally taught him to resist temptation. Free of drugs by God's grace, he gave glory to Jesus until his death in 1999 of leukemia. If the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Got a minute for a good word? Here's Dr. J. Vernon McGee with Through the Bible.
God's not only love, He's righteous, holy, just, and the holy demands of God had to be met. His just claims, His righteous standards must be met. And love may long to save, but the immutable law of justice makes love powerless to do so. And so Christ, by dying for your sins, He met the holy demands of justice, and God can now save you by grace. How wonderful it is. When we were guilty, Christ paid the penalty. God doesn't ask your cooperation to save you. He doesn't ask for your conduct or your character. God only asks men to believe Him, to trust Him, to accept Christ, to take His way.
We welcome your company on the Bible bus as we go through the Bible on the station and at ttb.org.
This is Word to the Wise with Dr. William Blocker, President of the College of Biblical Studies.
If someone asks you, what is grace, how would you answer? Unmerited favor? God's riches at Christ's expense? What about the question, who is grace? Titus 2:11 reads, "For the grace of God has appeared, bringing salvation to all men." And then in chapter 3, verse 4, "But when the kindness of God our Savior and His love for mankind appeared," who or what is Paul talking about? Here is a word to the wise. Jesus Christ is the grace, kindness, and love of God incarnate. And grace compels those who know Christ to praise Him, love Him, and follow Him.
Word to the Wise is a service of the College of Biblical Studies. Did you know we offer online programs designed to fit your schedule? Learn more at 713-77-BIBLE or cbshouston.edu.
From the files of Unshackled, Pacific Garden Mission presents Free Indeed.
Some people say you're born homosexual and have no choice. Yvonne Willis thought so for years. He was raised by his mother and grandmother, played with girls, and took on the characteristics of women. When he was in the 8th grade, an older boy seduced him. He liked the attention. He didn't tell his mother because she had enough on her hands. So Yvonne embraced the homosexual life. At 17, he got a job in his own apartment. Throughout the 80s, he had many lovers and never thought about the consequences. He developed diabetes and high blood pressure. He heard about the AIDS virus, but didn't even wonder when his best friend died. Then one day, he was diagnosed HIV positive. Yvonne wanted to die, so he didn't take his insulin for 2 weeks. While he was hospitalized, he was encouraged to become a volunteer at the AIDS clinic. It was there that I met Yvonne. He watched as I tried to demonstrate Christ's love to those dying of AIDS. I held them, read to them, even washed their bodies when they died. Yvonne couldn't resist that kind of love, and one day he prayed to receive Jesus Christ as his Savior. His mother followed him in salvation, and they often read the Bible together. He spent his days at the hospital, handing out tracts, telling about Jesus. He renounced homosexuality, proclaiming that Jesus is the answer. Yvonne went home to the Lord in May 1993. When Christ set him free from the bonds of sin here on earth, he was set free for all eternity. For if the Son therefore shall make you free, you shall be free indeed.
If you would like to be free from the weight of sin by receiving Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, or maybe you have questions about it, call 1-888-NEED-HIM right now. Free Indeed is a production of Pacific Garden Mission, 1458 South Canal Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60607. Email unshackled@pgm.org.
Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve with Real Hope.
Who are you hanging out with? Are they wise people or foolish? Proverbs 13 verse 20 tells us, "He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." I recently read a motto that a parent gave his child. It said this, "Watch out who you hang out with, because stupid rubs off." But the good news is this, if you walk with wise men, you'll become wise. If you hang out with good company, your morals will get a needed shot in the arm. So do an inventory on your friends. Are they people who help make you wiser and more godly? Do yourself a favor and find some friends who are seeking first the kingdom of God in all that they say and all that they do. When you surround yourself with wise and godly people, you become wise and godly yourself. Now that's real hope.
Discover the real hope God has for you. Visit FromHisHeart.org.
All the religions of the world focus basically on man's efforts to reach God, or to please God by accomplishing a set of tasks, or by doing good things. All the world religions, that is, except one. Jesus Christ came to live the perfect life that, frankly, you and I are just not capable of living. And as perfect as Jesus was, he willingly died to pay the price for the sinful life that you and I have lived. That makes Jesus inescapably unique in the world, in all religions. It is not about religion with Jesus anyway. Did you get that? It's not about religion with Jesus. It's about your relationship with him. To find out more about how you can receive the forgiveness of Christ provided only by friendship, by relationship with Jesus, call us now at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com.
Mark Edmonds and Roy Kaiser are back with you live here from Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg band about to finish up their performance, 22-7. Bulldogs lead here at halftime. They'll get the second half kickoff. Do want to give a quick shout out meant to earlier, Shelley Houston, Coach Houston. I shouldn't say it that way. That is, they are married, but she, in her own right, great school nurse, does a tremendous job. Coach Houston, he's okay. Anyway, but they last week she was listening, had to listen in from Arkansas, and I did not get to mention that. I didn't see that till after the broadcast. But then today I got an email saying their youngest was not feeling well, so probably couldn't come to the game, and was glad she could listen in, and so we appreciate that. So do thank you for all the support, and of course over the years she's always very supportive. Did baseball many times. Look forward, maybe that'll be something that we can get back on the menu as well coming up in the future. But anyway, do appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and the Bulldogs are back on the field as we get ready for the second half. 22-7, Bulldogs, a lot of good things. They have a good lead, but they have the ball first, and this could, a good drive, a score could really help get towards that ultimate goal of getting a good win here tonight.
Yeah, this game could go either way right here, Mark. It's not decided by any means. So the Bulldogs need to come out and make a statement, just like they did at the beginning of the game, where they flipped it and they stopped Fredericksburg, made them punt, and then went down and had some. Again, we didn't score early, but we did have. Was it the safety of the first series?
Yes, Yes, that was the first 2 point. It was the second series.
Second series.
But it was the first point. It was their second. We forced a punt, then the second drive.
Some district scores real quick. In the third quarter, Stephenville over Wiley, 28-7. Marble Falls over San Antonio Breckenridge, 14-0. Waco La Vega over the Brownwood Lions, 22-0. And Lampasas over Wimberley, that's a good game, 28-14.
Lampasas leading Wimberley?
They are.
So the Bulldogs will get the second half kickoff. Do appreciate you joining us wherever it might be on the World Wide Web or locally on 95.9 FM.
Real quickly,
KPN.
Mark, Burnett and Lampasas volleyball. Burnett varsity wins in 3 games. And so a sweep of the Lampasas Badgers.
Outstanding. Congratulations. And there's the second half kickoff. Going to be returned by Laidler from the 9. Trying to get to the outside. Got a seam. The 30. He has a hole. The 40 still on his feet. Cuts back at midfield. Cross midfield and down at the 44-yard line of Fredericksburg. Big return by Lou Laidler, and the Bulldogs will start with great field position at the Fredericksburg 44-yard line.
What a great way to start, and a great seam. Great blocking and some fantastic blocks to free up Laidler, and he took it.
About a 45-yard return. They mark it at the 45.
To the 45.
Well, I guess he was at about the 10, I think. First and 10, but a nice return. Wherever it started there, very nice. First and 10.
Let's go deep right here.
Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Stanford, short side of the field. Thank you for joining us on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN 95.9 FM. Burnett Bulldog football snapback. They hand it off to Coronado. No, it's not Coronado. Don't believe so. Let's see. To the 40-yard line.
Yep.
Oh,
Laidler.
Well, would I ever doubt you? Lou Laidler with the carry, his first carry of the night, to the 40-yard line, a gain of 5.
That is his first carry of the night.
Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Again, Stanford. Laidler in the backfield to the left of Murray. 2nd down and 5 from the Fredericksburg 40. Swing it out to Laidler. He makes the catch in space, and he just has to get back to the line of scrimmage. They've read that. That pass play has not worked too well for the Bulldogs as Fredericksburg quick to it and lost a yard back to the 41-yard line. It just takes a little while to develop, and that inside, those linebackers are just able to get there before he can get to the edge and blocking. It'll be 3rd down and 6 from the Fred 41-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, that's Pimentel and Stanford. 1 to the left, short side of the field. 2 backs in the backfield with Murray on 3rd and 6. Snap is back. He's going to throw. Has pressure. He's in trouble. Throws it off his back foot and just trying to get it away and is incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down.
He did have a receiver, Hal, in the area to avoid, because he was still in the tackles.
Yeah, and then he didn't get back to the line of scrimmage on the pass, so it is 4th down. Let's see what the Bulldogs do there at the Fred 41-yard line. 4th and 6. Laidler is the back in the backfield with Murray on 4th down, 4th and 6. Now Murray drops back another step, and he will kick it away, and barely got it away, but did, and is going to take a good bounce. One of the Bulldogs need to stop that and don't let it go too.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a little too close. It got inside the 1, but then you take the chance of your foot on there. It was Williams. Nice job, but do it at the 1. I really was afraid he's going to look down and be standing on it, but he corralled it. He corralled it inside the 1 on that. And Williams did a great job of getting there, but give yourself a little bit more room. 1st and 10 for the Billies. They're at the 1. We'll call it at their own 1-yard line.
Williams is a playmaker.
Yes.
And he made that play right there. He waited. The ball can bounce any direction. So I agree with you, Mark. But he played it at the
going to
1.
hand it off in the backfield. Not much room, but I'm trying to see who the carry. They've switched out backs. That was, I don't know,
22.
That's 22 with the carry. So that is Luke Harkleroad with the carry. He maybe got a yard or 2 to the 3-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Gives him a little room.
Yeah. Immel still in his end zone, and he hands it off again. Not much space, push back. They want safety, but they're not going to get it. He was pushed back, so he had up to about the 3-yard line, or they might even gave him the 4.
Well, they did give him the 4.
Yeah.
Not sure he got that.
I think he's still at the 3. Yeah. It's going to be 3rd down and long, 3rd and about 8. Maybe I think it's about the 3. It's tough to tell that far in there. Main thing is you got to get a stop here. Don't let them out of their own end of the field. Immel in his end zone to throw. Has time. He's looking deep. Passes. They say caught is.
There's no way he caught that.
As he slid down, number 11, Aiden Newsel gets the catch for a 1st down, but the Bulldogs don't bring any pressure, and he had time in the pocket, but it wasn't a strong throw. But they get it to the 15-yard line, gain of 11.
I'm thinking that ball bounced, Mark, and they gave it to him. Little at-home cooking.
1st and 10 from the 15, so they get a big 1st down. Harkleroad with the sweep, and he did find a hole to get up to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line, a gain of 6. So you had them 3rd and long inside the 5. It's converted. And now, but you got to shake that off and get a stop here. Now it's 2nd down. They gave him almost 7 at the 22-yard line. So 2nd down and a short 3 for the Billies. They trail 22-7. Snap back. Going to hand it off up the middle. I believe it's Harkleroad again. He gets to about the 25. And I don't think he gets the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short, I believe. They mark him at the 24, so they don't give him the 25. 3rd and 1. Yeah, if he'd have got to the 25, That's where they need to get to. So Bulldogs need to try to get a little penetration here. Emmel sends a man in motion. Now he sets up. Now Emmel goes under center, and he snaps it. And the Bulldogs get back there, and they really should not give him
There's
any progress.
No way he gets that.
I mean, they were trying to push, and they don't give it to him. Good call. That was a good spot, and it is 4th down and less than 1. Bulldogs need to be ready. It's at the 24-yard line, maybe 24 and a half. We'll see what Fredericksburg.
Yeah, good
don't
job.
wanna jump,
Good
but
job by the line there. 61, Holden Valdez plugging up that hole.
Let's see what they do right now. Emmel is in shotgun, but he doesn't. Now he gets the back set. He is going to roll to throw out in the flat and incomplete. Tried to get it to Harkle roll. They throw a out in the flat pass. Not really a good choice of plays. Incomplete. And I understand him maybe wanting to go for it 0-3, but I'm thinking you just still try to get that yard inside. That was a tough play, and it didn't work. So Bulldogs stayed with it. Turnover on downs.
It's a close game, and if you're Fredericksburg, you're kicking that and trying to flip a little bit of field position instead of giving Burnett the ball. Inside the 20, were we on the 20? No, we're on the 24. So
we get it at the Fredericksburg 24.
And could have been more dangerous.
Us, on that last drive.
Exactly, and, we intercept that. We could take that to the house.
And either way, you get we're 1st and 10 at the 24. 2 backs in the backfield with Murray. Coronado, a pistol formation. Man goes in motion behind the quarterback. Going to throw in the slant. That was behind Williams. Yep. Incomplete. Bulldogs haven't been just quite on between quarterback and receiver.
Yeah, definitely.
2nd and 10.
A throw Murray would like to have again. He waited and waited for Williams to come open, but then threw it behind him.
Coronado's in the backfield with Murray and Kasner. Kasner to the right of Murray. Murray in shotgun. 2nd and 10 at the 24. Coronado goes in motion. They hand it off to Kasner. We'd seen that play, but flags come in, and looks like the Bulldogs, this false start, 5 yards, will step back. Bulldogs have already, in missed opportunities, you don't want to look up and say, what could have been when they started the first drive of the second half on the Fredericksburg side of the field, couldn't do anything with it. Now this one they started the 24, now they're back to the 29. They need to convert some points. They do not look sharp here early in this on the offensive side.
No, Mark, you've got to play somewhat mistake-free if you're going to win football games.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Delayed to Coronado. He does make one man miss, but, they're not having much of the running game. Fredericksburg stops it inside the 30 at about the 28, maybe a gain of 1, or I don't know if they gave him any. Because that delay, he was really deep in the backfield. They say no gain. And it'll bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and 15.
I think the Bulldogs are going to have to maybe rely on some play action. And we've had open receivers, just have to connect.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, short side of the field. Murray in shotgun with 2 backs. Snap is back. Murray in trouble, and he's going to be sacked back at the 40-yard line. We had the backs in there to help protect, and we don't. And it's a loss of 10 back to the 39-yard line. Bulldogs will be looking to punt here.
Yeah, that's a good observation, Mark. There's 2 backs. The ball snapped, and they're both there to block, but just don't do it. They just miss it.
And a sack back to the 39. So the Bulldogs, 2 possessions on the Fredericksburg side of the field and no points. Laidler to punt. He stands at his own 48-yard line. High snap. Let's see what he does with it. It's on the ground. He picks it up, and he's in deep trouble, and now the field is really flipped. Bulldogs, crucial mistake there. Snap. Laidler couldn't get it. He picked it up, but then he was tackled, and it's going to be on the Fredericksburg. Not only gets him off the field, gets great field position. See, they end up marking it at the Burnett 42. The Burnett 42. It goes as a turnover on downs. So Fredericksburg's on the Burnett side of the field.
Again, Mark, these are 2 teams that have struggled to win some football games. 1 win between them, 1-5 if you're counting both records. And so really the team that makes the fewest mistakes is the one that's going to win.
Emmel in shotgun, 1st and 10. He hands it off to Harkle Road, and there's a big hole up the middle, and Bulldogs give up big yardage. Harkle Road inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. That's a 16-yard gain on 1st down.
The Bulldogs
24-yard
have really not come out of the locker room really all together here.
You are correct on that. 1st and 10 for the Billies at the Burnett 24. Emmel. They're going to hand it off again, Harkle Road. Now he cuts it inside, and Bulldogs strung that out better. And he'll pick up to the 22, a gain of 2. Bring up 2nd down and 8.
You know, the Bulldogs know they have to get Fred off the field, and so you don't want anything to happen after a whistle, and Fredericksburg's battling for extra yards, and so I think that's an opportunity to strip the ball instead of piling on.
It is 2nd down and 8 from the 22-yard line. Quarterback Brooks Emmel in shotgun. Harkle Road, no, it's Cantu, but he keeps it himself, and can he get to the outside? He does. He makes a man miss, gets a block, and he'll get yardage down near the 15-yard line. I think they say the 16. That's a gain of 6. Good fake there by Emmel, and quarterback keeper makes it 3rd down and 2.
Well, you've got Beard and Aiden Nozzle out there blocking the cornerback, which really sprung him for an extra 4 or 5 yards.
Cantu, the running back to the left of Emmel. 3rd down and 2. Going to hand it off to Cantu up the middle, and he just kind of finds his way for a 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Gain of 7.
That offensive line for Fredericksburg's firing out and pushing us backwards right now, Mark.
It is 4:04. Clock has, realize I hadn't given you an update on time. It's been rolling here in the quarter, but Bulldogs 2 possessions couldn't get points. Fredericksburg 1st and goal. Handed off up the middle. Ball comes out. Need to get this, Lant. Bulldogs can't fall on it. Do they finally? One missed it. We need this ball. It is Bulldog football because it was laying there. First, Laidler didn't come up with it. Who came up with it? Not sure. I think, well, maybe one of the D linemen, linebacker, check. Let's see if we can see it on their big board. But a big turnover as they were going in for a score. And as you said, Fredericksburg makes the mistake. Laidler dove for it. Fortunately, it stayed in bounds. And then the Bulldogs come up with it. Huge turnover as Fredericksburg was going in for a score.
I think, Mark, more importantly than who got it is who stripped it. And it looks like it's a defensive end, or maybe it's the cornerback. It's hard to tell, but it happened so fast.
Okay.
I think the same guy that stripped it got it.
Murray in shotgun, 1st and 10 at the 8. They hand it off to Coronado, and
just nothing there.
Nothing. He was hit. I'll make sure. Again, don't think that was Laidler in there again.
No, I think you're right.
But I think he might have lost another yard. We have not. We ran the ball well last week. We are not seeing that. No, it wasn't Coronado. It was 15 Lopez. Peyton Lopez. Coronado just checked back in. And that's a loss to the 7. That's a loss of 2 yards. So it's 2nd down and 12, 2nd and a long 11. Murray standing at his own goal line. Snap. They hand it off to Coronado. And he is hit. The line right now, they're controlling the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got back to the line of scrimmage no more. And it's 3rd and 11.
Oh, in a hurry.
6-yard line, really.
Just have not found that magic play to take advantage of.
We're not right now. We're not running at all. I mean, we're not making 2 yards, 3 yards. They're controlling that inside.
No, they're definitely controlling the line of scrimmage, and they're being super aggressive, and we just haven't found that right combination.
Got 2 backs in the backfield. A little confusion there. Murray on 3rd and long.
If this is a throw, they've got to protect him.
Got to give him time. He is going to throw it out in the flat to Kasner. He makes the catch. He does get around the corner and gets a 1st down. The big block at about the 16-yard line gives the Bulldogs the 1st down. Just able to get around the corner. And it was a good catch because it kind of bounced up in full stride. Kasner stayed with it, and that's a huge 1st down for the Bulldogs to the 20. It's a gain of 14.
Well, that's the magic play, and Kasner, who was in the block, faked the block and left, and he was the one that caught it, and it was close. Murray threw that under pressure.
Coronado to the right of Murray on 1st and 10. They hand it off to Coronado. There's a little hole up the middle, and that's what we saw a lot of last week, just kind of finding that room up the middle, and that's a good 5 yards. And they've got to establish some of that here. 2:10 to go, third quarter. It's still 22-7. That was our halftime score.
You're right. The offensive line has got to figure out how they're going to block these guys, and so we can gain some positive yardage.
Ball at the Burnett 25-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Again, 2 backs in the backfield with Murray. Snap back, going to hand it off to Coronado again. And maybe a yard, but there's just no hole for him to go through. They're just able to stack that on. We're not getting that push there inside. We'll call it a gain of 1 to the 26. It's going to bring up another 3rd down, 3rd and 4.
No, our leading rusher is Coronado with 12 carries for 26 yards. So, not much per play in the rush.
3rd down and 4. Murray in shotgun. Coronado to his right. 2 receivers to the left. He's going to throw. He has the slant. Stanford can't come up with the catch, and incomplete. And it's going to bring up a 4th down and a punting situation. Bulldogs offense had some big moments, but have not looked in sync a lot of tonight.
No, and that ball was close enough to catch, and I know Stanford comes up shaking his head, wishing he had caught that.
It is Laidler to punt. This snap is low as well, but he does pick it up and gets it away. Line drive. Going to take a Burnett bounce. So do get it past the 40 down to the 34-yard line. But the Bulldogs offense, again, unable to do much with it, and it's 1st and 10, Fredericksburg. Fortunately, Fredericksburg had that drive going. They have hurt themselves as well. The last one on that fumble, but they get another shot here, 30 at their own 34-yard line.
But, you pointed out how fast the third quarter has gone. And, Mark, that's going to be a key. If the fourth quarter does the same thing, you're not going to get that many more possessions. And so you've got to either use a lot of time if you've got the lead, or you need to go score again.
Emmel in shotgun. He's going to throw on 1st down. Throws it out in the flat, and catch is made. And he's going to get yardage up to the 50. Good route there.
Oh, that's a great route.
Yeah, number 11, Aiden Newsel, sold it, and he gets a 1st down at the Burnett 49.
Yeah, really drove the cornerback back 2 or 3 yards, which created an opening for him to catch that ball.
So 1st and 10 for the Battling Billies. 40 seconds to go, third quarter, 22-7 Bulldogs. Emmel to throw again, middle of the field, and then a missed tackle. It's going to be a touchdown. Bulldogs let up almost, and Newsel catches it, and he's hit at the 30, but then nobody wraps him up, and he comes free, and he goes for the score. He goes for a 49-yard touchdown, and the Battling Billies right back in it. 49-yard touchdown from their quarterback, Emmel, to Newsel.
Should have been stopped on the catch, Mark. We had a defender, Jorplin, trailing him, and Laidler in front of him.
They're going for 2. They roll. Emmel to throw. He's in trouble. Gets away from it. Throws it. And they say it's good. They say that he made the cat. Newsel again. He's all of a sudden made his presence felt. 28 seconds to go. 22 to 15. We're going to go ahead and take a short break here. 22-15 our score. Bulldogs still lead on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN 95.9 FM.
Do you know the feeling of debilitating guilt and shame? We all feel guilt over something, but shame can attach to our soul and secretly become our identity. Have you endlessly tried to find ways to forget that shame? Come out of the dark and talk to someone that can help you discover that you are not alone. Jesus loves you. To find out how to get that freedom through a relationship with Jesus, call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM or go to chataboutjesus.com to chat online.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser. We've got ourselves a ball game here. It is now 22-15. Bulldogs with the lead.
Well, the Bulldogs, Mark, have not taken advantage of the opportunities that they've had. Great field position, a fumble, and just haven't taken advantage of it.
Yep. Kickoff here. Bulldogs going to return it from the 6-yard line. Ladler again trying to get to the outside, but he's taken down inside the 20, about the 19-yard line. Bulldogs do. Again, they've had all great field position. We are at the top of the hour listening to Burn It Bulldog Football on KMPN. Burn it. Well, Bulldogs got to find an answer here. They're not, long way. They're not going to win this game. In my mind, right now, the momentum with Fredericksburg, they can turn that around. They've got the lead, but they've got to put some more points on the board.
Well, think of how this half started.
Yes.
With Ladler running the ball back to the 45. So many good things happened to the Bulldogs, but Fredericksburg has been the team that have made the plays.
20, and don't forget, they fumbled inside the 10 the drive before. It's 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Bulldogs. Murray, they're going to try to run it again, and Coronado weaves his way for maybe 2 to the, they give him 2 yards to the 22, just not much there. And let's see, that should take us to the 4th quarter. They will. It will. So, 4th quarter, we got one yet undecided. The Bulldogs 22. The Battling Billies 15 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM.
This is Word to the Wise with Dr. William Blocker, president of the College of Biblical Studies.
One theologian has said, better a baffled faith than no faith at all. In John 6, we read of a time when many of Jesus' would-be disciples withdrew and were not walking with him anymore. Why? Because he didn't meet their expectations. If you've ever felt confused, disappointed, and wanted to walk away from your commitment to Christ, here's a word to the wise. Peter offers a sobering response when he says in John 6:68, Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. So keep the faith. Even when you don't understand, Jesus still has all the answers.
Word to the Wise with Dr. William Blocker is a service of the College of Biblical Studies. For more information, contact us at 713-77-BIBLE or cbshouston.edu.
2nd down and 8, pass on the right side. We're going to get a penalty, though. It was incomplete. Murray had time, but really it was just, I don't know. He just got and put his hands up in front of us and made some contact. Should be pass interference against Fredericksburg.
Yeah, Mark, the defender, he never looked for the ball and just ran into the receiver.
He was trying to just block his view and not hit him, but he did run into him as well. It's a big play. Bulldogs see if they can take advantage. That gives them a 1st down up at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that would be the textbook definition of pass interference with 44.
Now, if you don't touch him, though, if you were back, you could do that. It's the contact that 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 37. Pimentel goes in motion and then a flag. Now the Bulldogs will be moved 5 yards back. False start. Both teams, and again, why they've struggled some, you're seeing that here, the consistency. Both these teams have made some mistakes that have really hurt them. This takes you back to the 32-yard line.
Well, what I'd like to see from Burnett is, and you know we're not going to be able to see it from up here, but the leaders have got to step up, get vocal, and make everybody understand what it's going to take to win this game.
Yes, sir. It is 1st and 15 from the Burnett 32-yard line. Coronado in the backfield to the right of Murray. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, short side of the field. Murray waits for the snap, has it. Has time, throws it out. There's a flag again, and Coronado makes the catch. It's to be short, but look, isn't there a flag on that far side of the field? I'm hoping maybe offsides. Coronado short gain on the catch. There is some kind of penalty, so they're discussing it over there.
I think we're going to have movement on the Bulldogs. It's probably, I think, one of the linemen may have moved.
Little mistakes. We'd already had 5 yards.
Yep, that's what it looks like. And yeah, that's a good call. And that's a better call.
Better call. So we heard it over the There was a face mask on the tackle of Coronado, a penalty against the Bulldogs, but fortunately it'll be negate. They're like those don't offset.
They do, and I have
Yeah,
never
you're right.
agreed with that.
They're offset, so it's 1st and 15. That really hurts because that would have been 15 yards for the Bulldogs. Pistol formation. Murray's got to get rid of it. He does in the middle of the field, and it was low and behind the intended receiver, Peyton Shirley. And it's going to be 2nd down. That still should have been 1st, right? With the penalty offset, or was that 2nd?
That they still have 2nd on the down marker.
Yeah, 2nd down and 15 now.
You know, and Murray has been under pressure pretty much every throw. Mark, he's throwing off his back foot, and so that creates an inaccuracy on his part. But the line has got to do a better job of keeping the defenders out.
It is 2nd and 15 from the 32. Again, 2 backs in the backfield. Bulldogs lead 22-15. Murray to throw. Pressure comes. Gets rid of it. And that throw a little low, but Pimentel can't come up with it. He had a shot at it low to the ground, but it was incomplete. And it's 3rd and 15. Bulldogs just not in sync. And it is now 11:24 to go in the game, 22-15. The Bulldogs lead, but a little precarious now. I shouldn't try to use that word. At the 32, Bulldogs offense just completely stagnant in the second half.
Well, it doesn't, we want that clock to run, and those incomplete passes aren't helping that.
3rd and long. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Murray in shotgun. Snap is back. Pressure, whistle, and another false start. Nope, that one delay a game. And that takes it back to the 27. The Bulldogs offense in the second half might have minus yards. Again, great field position. It was 22-7 at halftime, 22-15 now. But now you're looking at 3rd and 20. You just don't want to make a big mistake here. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 3rd and 20. Murray to throw, middle of the field. Catch is made. A great catch by Park to get it up to the it's Stanford at the 40-18. And that was a tough one as he was hit, but it makes it a little further up the punt. But it's going to, again, those penalties. You pick up yardage to the 40, it's still 4th down and about 6 or 7.
That was a spectacular catch.
It really was.
The defender was right there, and he caught that pretty much as a spin around.
Ladler in to punt. Snap back. He does kick it away. Good high kick. And it will take a bounce straight up. Now a good Burnett bounce for a few more yards. And it comes down at the 22. So now you're asking your defense to go back to work. Bulldogs lead 22-15 because of that 2-point conversion. That is just a 7-point lead. Again, the safety by the Bulldogs early. But
right. It is close, and the Bulldogs are going to have to find some inspiration from somewhere. And Coach Levens is halfway to the numbers, or really on the numbers, trying to implore the defenders for the Burnett defense to step up.
Got a couple of turnovers, so could use that again. Emmel hands it off, and that time, good surge. That you needed that to get that started on a pushback and a loss of a yard back to the 15.
Yeah, much better job there.
It is the 15, so they started it further up. I had it wrong. It wasn't at the 22. They started that drive at the 17-yard line, but now they're at the 15. So that was a loss of 2. 2nd down and 12. Bulldogs defense, good stop. Got to keep it up. Emmel at quarterback, snap back. He's going to throw. He has lots of time. Going deep to Beard. Dropped up and incomplete. And a nice job of seeing it. It could have been intercepted. Sanchez did everything right, but and then it went up in the air and fortunately landed incomplete.
Okay.
But
so I can't criticize him because Sanchez did what I have implored our defenders to do and go knock the ball down and make a play.
But that's an interception he could have.
In that situation, if he intercepts that, then the tip doesn't go to Fredericksburg, which it almost did.
But now it's 3rd and 12, and they still have another chance. Bulldogs, 2 good defensive plays. Make it 3. Emmel, snap back. He has time in the pocket. Now he pulls it down. He's looking to run. Bulldogs, great play. Who was that on this side?
Lopez.
Yes, he was by himself. And if he gets through there, who knows? But Lopez put a hit on him enough to knock him off his feet, make him stumble back at the 10 or 11, a loss of 5, and they'll have to punt. Big play there because he had space. They had coverage downfield, but he had time, and if he gets through there was nobody on this side of the field.
Well, and Lopez had to deal with an offensive blocker, and
Yes,
he was
did.
able to get by him.
They're going to punt from their end zone. Snap is back. It's good. They get it away. Bulldogs need to get away from this. It's a short kick. Does take a bit of a Fredericksburg bounce, but it's still not going to get to midfield. You've got great field position. Again, the defense comes up big for the Bulldogs, and the offense is going to have to, it's going to happen in a game. One's got to pick up another. It's time for the offense as they start again on the Fredericksburg side of the field at the 48.
Good job. Coach Levins got them going. And
great
he
series there.
He is fired up now because his defense did exactly what he wanted them to do.
Let's get a little running game going.
Now we need to see that on the offensive side here and have some leadership and go do some things right.
That running right up the middle, now, maybe, you shifted off one hole or just sometimes a little bit of a change or that blocking scheme. Let's see if they can open something up. Coronado on the backfield, Murray. 1st and 10. Murray. He is going to hand it off to Coronado. And there is a little space, and he lowers the shoulder, and he's going to get about 3, maybe almost 4 yards. They give him the 45-yard line, so we'll call it 3 yards.
Well, it's going to be important that we are able to somehow do that now that we haven't been able to do it for a while, is run the football. But if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to run some clock.
And it's 8:34 left. Now if you can run some clock, there is a stoppage of play. One of the Fredericksburg players, they're tending to. If you're able to move it down and it's 7 points. If you put any kind of points on the board and make it a 2-score game, that's a huge deal. And that's what this offense, that's what the game comes down to. I mean, I know there's a lot more of it left, but still, you run 4 minutes off, you score, you put yourself in a great position to win, and that's that control in the game, and this is their chance.
Yeah, and you wonder, with a new kicker, Marco Campos Horta, if in a game like this where it's on the line, if you give him a chance to put 3 points on the board.
I think if you're, of course, had one blocked. That's always somebody young, but that wasn't his fault. They came up the middle. But, that's a lot of pressure. But if you're inside the 20 and you can go up by 10, sorry, a 2-score, I think they do. They put that opportunity.
Well, in a game that's pre-district, that it matters, but it doesn't count on your district record, and that's what really matters.
This is about finding it.
Put a kid in that opportunity and put your team in that opportunity and see how they come through.
I'm okay if they score a touchdown, too. Just wanted to put that in there. I didn't want to.
Yeah, we'll take that. That's not off the table.
Let's put some points. We need not scored in the second half. It's 22-15.
Well, we're going to have to maybe do something different here, and it looks like we are. It looks like maybe Pimentel is coming in at quarterback, Martin.
And we've got 4 backs in the backfield. Pimentel back there, along with 3 backs, one behind him, and it's going to be the old draw. He got blockers. Pimentel is pulled down. They do a pretty good job to only give him 2 or 3 yards. He had blockers. It was like the old almost option, except they were all blockers. He didn't have the option back, but they had extra blockers, but they get it to the 42-yard line? So that's only a pickup of 3, and that was meant to go for more than that, get that first down. But Pimentel stays in. Still the 3 blockers.
We saw
3
this
backs
earlier.
with him, yes. 1 receiver to the right, 3rd and 4. Pimentel. He keeps it himself up the middle, makes one man miss, still on his feet. He drives hard. Let's see. I think he got – it's close. I think did he point it? Yes, he did. First down. So he faked to Coronado and up the middle, but he had to work hard for that and keep his feet driving. Big first down at the 38.
Yeah, he had to drag a Fredericksburg defender with him. But
Fredericksburg's done a pretty good job inside.
They have a good defense.
So it is 1st and 10. Huge first down. Clock runs at 7:17 now, 22-15 Bulldogs. Bulldogs good with letting some clock run down, but you don't want a penalty here. You need to be ready. We're under 8 seconds. You don't want to take that 5 yards. I think they're going to have to call a timeout. Bulldogs do. You do, and I know that's a part of getting the play in, but it is at this point, and smart timeout, you don't want to take those 5 yards, but you got to be ready to go.
It limits you to 2 now, but at this point, we want that clock to run.
Yeah.
So
it is 1st and 10. The ball at the Fredericksburg 38. So that's kind of a strange game to see. You can see two teams still trying to find some things. Both have got some players. It looks like trying to find places for them and what they can do. I've been more impressed. Fredericksburg looks like it's kind of, and this is similar. The depth, the situation, playing both sides of the ball, and those kinds of things. But both teams got some athletes as well.
They do, and you've got Beard on the other side, and you've got Amo who have made good plays. Now, if we compare them to some of the athletes we played so far, they're not there. They're not to that level, but still playing a good game.
They played well as a team, I thought, Academy looked more athletes, but this defense, especially for Fredericksburg, has played well together. 1st and 10. It's going to be Murray. Throws it out in the flat. Catches made by Howell. Has blockers at the 30. Stay in bounds. He is pushed out of bounds. Couldn't help it. But it gets yardage near the first down. That's a good play to Riley Howell out in the flat. Had the blockers down the field. Stanford, one of them. They get it to the 29. That's a good gain. But it did stop the clock, didn't it?
It did.
And he was trying to stay in, but so that – gain of 9 to the 29-yard line. 2nd and 1. That's a good position to be in. But let's pick up that first down. Coronado to the left of Murray. Now they move Howell to the left side of the line. On 2nd down, snap back. Murray's going to throw. He's looking deep, middle of the field, and it's almost intercepted. They get to Pimentel, but a lot of red shirts. It goes off of him, almost bounces up. And I know on 2nd and 1 you get that chance on 3rd down, but that wasn't a wide open pass.
No, it was not a wide open. He threw that into coverage, which I guess you could argue that pretty much every pass has been thrown into tight
not
coverage.
Not what it was earlier.
Well, okay, you're right.
But
except for the second quarter.
So right now, let's get this first down. 3rd and 1. That did stop the clock. And they hand it off to Howell, who's in the backfield. And big, strong run there. I think that's his first carry. I believe that was Howell. 7.
That would be his first carry.
Yeah. And he gets the first down. So an important carry, mixing somebody else in there down to the 26-yard line. But a very important first down, a very important carry. Gain of 3 for Howell. Kasner checks back in. Now clock does run. 6:28 to go in the ball game, 22-15. Again, it's still early because we had that 7 o'clock kickoff. Stanford to the right, 2 receivers to the left, Sanchez and Williams. 2 backs in the backfield. They hand it off to Kasner on the sweep, and he stayed on his feet to get anything. They've read that. That middle linebacker, or maybe it was Beard or from even the safety, they're bringing extra help. And he just went through there. Nobody touched him, and Kasner had to fight his way just to get the yard to the 25.
Well, that's Kuntz. Caden Kuntz is their best player on defense.
He got there quick.
And he's led that team well tonight.
He read it and got in there. It is. Clock does run, though. Now 5:43 and counting in the ball game. Murray in shotgun with Coronado.
Oh, goodness.
And we move again. Way too many procedure penalties. I mean, we've had a lot of penalties tonight. And Fredericksburg's hurt themselves, but this is the most. I don't. In our first 4 ball games, we've had some big ones, but this consistently has really hurt us.
And I like what we're doing. We're putting people in motion and doing all that. But tonight, it just seems to be a little more complicated than we can handle.
It is back to the 30, so that makes it. They've gained 1. So second and 14. Murray in shotgun with Coronado. They're going to hand it off to Coronado up the middle, and They just bring more than we can handle, and there's just not any room there for him to go. He got a yard to the 29. It's going to bring up 3rd and long. It does run. Keep the clock running. We're going under 5 minutes left in the ball game. 3rd and 13.
It's a lot of bodies standing up, and just hard to find a place to run.
There's not seams for him, and they're like we're pulling, and it's just not opening holes.
Right. We're engaging the defenders, but they're just holding us and able to make the tackles.
Kasner checks in late. It's 3rd down and 13. Murray with 2 backs in the backfield. He's going to throw. Has a moment. Does. Got to get rid of it. Pump fake. Throws it and intercepted at about the 11. Not a good choice to throw. He waited too long and then threw it late, and going to be an interception. Now, it is deep in their territory. We were about to look at 4th down, but again, not a good series. Bulldogs started in Fredericksburg territory. Fredericksburg has a chance again to look to tie it up. They start at their 14.
Before that play, I wanted to say that was maybe the most important play of the game, and there's still some football left to play, but that was a big turnover.
4:30 to go in the game. Bulldogs lead 22-15. Fredericksburg has the ball at their own 14-yard line. They're going to hand it off on the first play. Good job. Got in the backfield. They try to run it there. That was, I believe, that was 22. Luke Harknell Road. That keeps the clock running, and I think he lost a yard to the 13. 2nd down and 11. Clock runs at 4:05. Bulldogs lead by 7. Emmel has Harkle Road to his right. Trip receivers to the right. He's going to throw. Has time. Deep middle of the field. Catch is made. Bulldogs came over late. Got a big hit, but and he had that big catch earlier. Newsel with the catch. Pass midfield. Where do they mark it? Right at midfield at the 50. a 37-yard catch. 1st and 10. Bulldogs couldn't get there. It hung up in the air a while. 1st and 10 at the 50 for Fredericksburg. Emmel in shotgun. No pressure. Has time. Throws that one away. And he's been wild to the high to the outside a few times. 2nd down and 10.
That one may have been on purpose, Mark.
Yeah,
we had that
coverage
covered pretty well, and there was just no room to throw that.
2nd and 10 at the 50. Clock stops on the incompletion. 3:25 to go in the game. Coming down right to it. Next week will be at home against Gatesville. It'll be a 7:30 kickoff. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 10. Emmel. He has pressure coming. They set up the inside screen, and they do complete it, and that should have been a hold right there. There's the flag. There's the flag, and it was turn the defender around. So they got it to Harkle Road, but we had defenders coming at him, and one of them just got spun around, and I'm sure that didn't hurt that our coaches were right there. I imagine they were mentioning that. It is down the field, so they will. It'll stay 2nd down. So it won't be I don't think a full 10 yards from but it does make it back to the 43. They set up the screen. Bulldogs sort of recognized it, but there was some space. They're at their own 43. It's going to be 2nd and about 17. 2nd and about 17 for Fredericksburg. 3:12. Clock is running.
The Bulldog defense did it last time and got them off the field, so we've got to do it here. This is the play.
You got them 2nd and long, yes. We got them backed up. We get a little pressure on him. Finally did a little there, but he's had time in the pocket. Going to pitch. It's going to be a trick play. They throw it out in the flat. Catch is made to Beard, but a good job of staying with it. They're going to pick up some positive yards, but they flipped it to number 6, Harrison Langford, and he threw to Beard. They get past midfield, but about the 49, so it's a gain of 8, but it's going to bring up 3rd down and 9.
It'll make their 3rd down much more manageable.
Clock stopped, yes. I thought they were going deep with that, but they ended up picking up positive yards to the
Bulldogs
49.
Have got to stay home. No reverses. Stay
Emmel.
home. Do your job.
And the shot pressure comes, but he gets it away, and
no,
they're going to give him that catch. He jumped out of bounds. It looked like
Mark, that wasn't even close to a reception.
They mark it at the 35, 36 it was. It will go down as one of 13 yards in 1st and 10.
My goodness.
It looked like as he jumped, but they do mark it at the 36, Bulldogs. 1st and 10 at the Burnett 36. Time is 2:47 to go in the game. 22-15 Bulldogs. Emmel, Bulldogs looking for another turnover. Emmel has time. Now he pulls it down, looks to run, runs into his own man, and ball came out. Let's see, a lot of red shirts. They got it back, but it does keep the clock running, and it'll go down as a sack at the 41-yard line. Ball on the ground could have ended the game, but a loss of 5. Clock runs, 2:25. That's important. 2nd and about 15.
The defense has made plays all night, Mark, and it's time to step up and take care of this game right here.
Emmel, 2 receivers to the right. Slow snap. They're going to set up a screen again. It's high, but it's caught. Harkleroad breaks a couple of tackles, though. It's going to get it down to the 35-yard line. He barely got it there, but picks up 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and long again. They mark it. Clock is running. Minute 52 to go in the game. 22-15 Bulldogs, 7-point lead.
Well, the Billies still
9.
have 3 timeouts left, so you wonder if they can get one more first down, they'll start using those.
They're at the Burnett 35-yard line. It is 3rd and 9, obviously 2-down situation. You need to get in the backfield. They almost had movement. He's changing at the line of scrimmage.
He's going to have to hurry.
Emmel back in shotgun. Gets the snap back. Throws it out in the flat. Catch is made. And gets near the
Clock
30.
should run.
Yes, and it didn't get the first down. He got it to the – this is going to be – they're going to call their timeout. They call one of their timeouts. Let's see where they end up marking it. 31-yard line. That was a gain of 4. So this is the game.
Yep.
4th and 5 from the 31. Now,
this is it.
If they do get it, then still other. But if they don't get it, I say that they have 2 timeouts. It should be the game. I don't know if I'm.
Well, let's just say this is a crucial play in the moment of the game.
This is the biggest play of the game. 1:13 to go. 22-15. The Bulldogs lead by 7. Fredericksburg has it at the Burnett 31-yard line, and it is a 4th down and we'll say 5.
As important as this play is, and as much as the defense has done to make plays tonight, you know what we need? Robbie Robertson in front of the fans to get them up.
Yes.
And standing up and trying to cheer on our defense here.
All right, let me ask you something. Do you, if you're Fredericksburg, do you take the big shot here? Everybody's thinking a 5-yard out. Do you go for the big play?
I think they're going to roll Emmel out, which they've had success doing, and let him find.
Well, here we go. 4th and 5, trying to get the Bulldog sideline, trying to get the crowd up. They are up, clapping. 4th and 5. Emmel in shotgun. Snap back. He's going to throw. Ball is tipped and knocked down. It's Trevin Park who knocks it down, and that's a turnover on downs, and the Bulldogs need about another minute and 8 seconds to run off to get a victory. And it's not easy, but a big play. He stepped in front. They tried to get it out in the flat. Park knocked it down. Huge play to read that. That's those good instincts of a player seeing where it is, just knocking it down. And the Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10 at their own 31. Huge play by the defense and Park.
Yep. He comes up with it, and that's exactly what we needed. He read it. Really, he was getting blocked, Mark. In fact, I think number 7, which is Hal, was being defended, and I think he jumped, which made Emmel have to throw the ball higher than he wanted to.
Good defensive stop. Bulldogs protect the football.
Hold on to the football.
Murray in shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Sanchez.
2 hands.
Sanchez not in the backfield. That is Coronado. Coronado back there and gets to the 31. Yes, it's hang on the ball. They use their 2nd timeout, Fredericksburg. We're going to take it real quick. We'll be back 22-15. Bulldogs lead on KMPN 95.9 FM, BTXSportsOnline.com.
A swimmer was caught in a strong current and close to drowning. Suddenly, a life jacket was thrown within reach. He grabbed the life jacket and it saved his life. Sometimes we feel like we're drowning in the problems of life. Maybe it's financial, marital, or job related. Where can we find hope? Jesus is our rescuer and wants us to reach out to him. Learn more. Call 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us live at needhim.org.
All right, Bulldog faithful, let's get a few more seconds to tick off the clock. They did use a timeout, did the Battling Billies. 59 seconds to go. It is second down. So you want to run the ball to make them use their timeout. Protect that football. Murray in shotgun on second down and 10. They hand it up the middle. Coronado again lowers the shoulder, and they do use their last timeout. I believe that's the last one, right?
It is.
He gets to the 32, a gain of 2 by Coronado. But right now it comes down to, let's see, time-wise. You're the math guy, so.
Well, 25 seconds on the play clock.
That'll be this play, yeah.
That's this
well,
play.
That doesn't matter. They start it, so it's 54 seconds. Whatever the play stops, 40 seconds. Be a 40-second play clock. So you would have to get – see, that's getting into where it gets crazy there for me. Is it how close – would you have to take a snap on fourth down?
Take a snap, and you don't really want to punt it.
No, don't take it. So you're not going to run 14 seconds off on this play is the problem. But you could run a good 5, 6. Run the ball, stay on your feet, hold on to the football. Yeah, and that's why you might see that little bit kind of a sweep type, but you got to protect the football.
But, yeah, and, you could run a little sweep and then slide down, make sure you don't go out of bounds.
All right. Yeah, no, I was thinking like a sweep of about 3 yards. All right. Murray. No, it's Pimentel. Pimentel in at quarterback.
You know
in
what's
shotgun.
Coming, we looked confused,
yes,
Mark.
we do.
And we've
We
got time.
plenty on play clock. Pimentel, snap. But then they handed to Park on the inside play and a little toss, and that's scary. My heart leaped. I saw the ball come. So it's an inside pass, and if that's incomplete, it stops the clock too. It did complete it to Park for a couple of yards. Now, did it start? Nope. Okay, so we have 26 on the play clock and 31 on. Okay, I think the Bulldogs run it all down to 1 second. They'll call a timeout. The Bulldogs will call a timeout. Yeah, the difference is play clock at 12, game clock at 18. Bulldogs will take it all the way down. Let's see what the official amount of time will be left. Bulldogs call their timeout at 8 seconds. 8 seconds. So, okay, it is fourth down. It's fourth and still about 9 on the little shovel pass from Pimentel to Park. Whoa.
Did your heart
yes,
jump
I
a
saw
little
the
bit?
ball.
So did mine.
And it was a pass, but he caught it. And
well,
but yeah. Anyway, so
thank goodness they completed that, and no defender got in the way and all that. That could have happened.
Anyway, but so 8 seconds. What do you do? Because you could run around for 8 seconds.
Can you run backwards and then
make
them chase you?
They're going to be chasing you. Yeah.
Yep.
And teams, even if you get the safety, you would kick the other way. You'd at least kick.
Well, you would run the timeout.
But you'd have to run. But
And I think you can. If
but you don't want to run back there and let them catch you and knock the others. You just got to turn and go, and then
Mark, you could run straight back. That would take 7 or 8 seconds, and you're in the end zone.
Or even kneel outside the end zone.
Yep. Well, maybe not that.
Go all the way out. It is Ladler.
And,
and he's in punt formation, and you want a good. We've seen the snap. There's a lot of things. 8 seconds to go. 22-15. Yes, he might, but you got to get it there first. So let's get there.
I don't
snap
think
is good. No, he's going to punt it away, and they came close. Now they could return it. Ball on the ground. You got to cover. Beard picks it up, and he's still on his feet and tackle with no time.
Woo.
Well, that's what you do. You punt it and you make the tackle. Bulldogs win. Bulldogs win, and they should be excited, but that took about 6 7 days off my life there the last. But it's a big win for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, they do tackle Beard after the punt, and they got pretty close to the punt there, but he got it away. They executed, and a good tackle of Beard, and that ends it with the final score, 22-15. Bulldogs offense not able to score in the second half, even though great field position, and even though they gave up the score, the story of this game has to be the second half of the defense, because they had so much pressure put on them over and over again.
No doubt. And then, to kick it to the most dangerous guy on the Billies team just added that extra day to your life. But great coverage by the Bulldogs. And what was good about it was the ball bounced, and it bounced high, and so Beard had to play it knowing that he was going to have pressure, and there was just too much coverage there for him to be able to cover the ball, catch the ball, and make a play. So kudos to the coverage team to make that tackle.
All right, we're going to take a brief timeout. We'll come back, get the stats, and wrap it up. Big win. Bulldogs moved to 2-2 on the season as they defeat the Fredericksburg Battling Billies here in Fredericksburg, 22-15 on BTXSportsOnline.com. KMPN 95.9 FM.
Need some real hope? Here's Pastor Jeff Shreve.
Before God created the church, He created the family. Now, a family is designed to be a unified, close-knit team, with dad acting as head coach and mom acting as assistant coach. And when team family is led well, all the team members flourish in a safe and healthy environment. Debbie and I took our roles seriously. I led and she helped me. I loved her and she respected me, and together we raised our children in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Now, was it easy? No, but it was so worth it. And God blessed our marriage and our family as we sought to do things His way, and He'll do the same for you. Now that's real hope.
And you can find that real hope when you visit FromHisHeart.org.
All that glitters isn't gold.
Scams are nothing new.
In days gone by, con men would cover a brass ring with a thin layer of gold.
He'd then go into a crowd, drop it where it might be seen, and when someone saw it and went to pick it up, the con artist would reach for it too.
I saw it first.
He'd then suggest,
We could split the ring between us, unless you want to keep it. Just buy my half.
It seemed like great value for a gold ring, but the ring was actually a phony, where we probably get the word phony.
a lot of people today are reaching for something that will give them a sense of security, and they're not necessarily bad things.
But when they seem to have everything, they can actually feel a bit taken, because all that glitters isn't gold.
Jesus said He came so that you could have life the way God intended.
Total forgiveness,
lasting peace,
satisfaction,
and life forever in heaven.
Find out more. Call 888-NEED-HIM. That's 888-NEED-HIM.
You can even chat live with someone now
at needhim.org.
Mark Edmondson, Roy Kaiser back with you live here from Fredericksburg, Texas. Our final score 22-15. Battle back and forth, both teams fighting hard. I'm going to try that again with my mic down. Thank you if y'all heard that was a little muffled. 22-15 Bulldogs with the win. We're back here along with Coach Kaiser is checking our messages coming in here. 22-15 Bulldogs win. Was a good, tough battle. Both teams, you can see, they were working hard, and both understood the importance of the game, and a great defensive stop or two there by the Bulldogs late was able to seal it with this 22-15 win. I'll let you go. Dan, after we get the stats here, we'll wrap it up here. Next week, we'll be back on at 7 with the pregame 7:30 kickoff against Gatesville at home. But go ahead. Let's get the stats.
Some offensive stats, but the defense, yes. Mark, steps up big to win the game tonight consistently. All right, so Murray through the air is 11 of 24 for 177 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's about a 45% completion rate. On the receiving end, you have Sanchez 1 of 15, Howell 4 catches for 54, big night for him. Pimentel 2 catches for 38, or 1 catch for 38. Coronado 2 catches for 24. Stanford 1 catch for 8. Prather 1 for 20. Lather 1 for -1, Kastner 1 of 14, Park 1 of 2. And on the ground, thank you, coaches. On the ground, Coronado does most of the work. 16 carries for 33 yards. Kastner 3 carries for 18 yards. And really that's Pimentel ran it 4 times for 7. So, just not much on the ground tonight. Most of the damage was done through the air. And that wasn't, picture perfect, but it didn't have to be because the defense was able to step up and make plays.
Right. Yeah, it is a good gutted out win, one of those that we talked about over the last number of years. Last year, probably a little bit as they built up the last years of those games that were close and finding a way to win.
Right.
And those are important because this is a lot of new squad, a lot of, as Coach Spears talked about, finding their place and again, who the leaders are, as you mentioned.
Exactly.
Who steps up in those roles, and they're learning that. So a big win on the road because we've seen, in the struggles of that 10-year drought of not getting to the playoffs, some of those, they were still good competitive teams but couldn't seem to find those little ways. And you hope this is one of those things that continues to build, and it certainly looks like that.
And we've got a couple of games before district starts, and we're going to have to find who those leaders are. We're going to have to find those playmakers. And we've seen it, in some of these games, but we've got to continue to improve because it doesn't get easier.
Yeah, and we're going to have to play better. I really do think we're going to have to play better to beat Gatesville. I mean, and that means do the little things, not have the penalties, and that just comes with that. Because as we did some good things tonight, overall we weren't sharp like we were last week. So we've got to learn from that. We're going to wrap it up here. We do appreciate everybody joining us. Thanks to Dan. Of course, thanks to Chad with BTXSportsOnline.com. Again, we'll be back on next week, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:30 kickoff at home against Gatesville. So we do appreciate you joining us, and thanks for everybody along the way. Thanks to Coach Kaiser and his always doing a tremendous job and a big victory. Bulldogs go to 2-2 on the season. The Fredericksburg Battling Billies dropped to 0-4. The Bulldogs defeat the Battling Billies 22-15 on BTXSportsOnline.com and KMPN 95.9 FM. Thank you and good night.
And thanks for listening to tonight's special presentation of Burnett Bulldog High School Football at 95.9 FM, KMPN Burnett. This game has been produced exclusively through Camp and Isle of Marble Falls, which is celebrating over 70 years of camping ministry in the Marble Falls area, and the KHCB Network. We hope you'll join in next time for more of the action of Burnett High School football, brought to you by Mark Edmondson and Roy Kaiser. We now join our regular programming already in progress. Thanks for listening.